National awakening. A necromancer, a knight? In the vast universe, lonely human beings always hope to find alien civilizations and create sparks of civilization. However, the aliens did not come across the sea of stars in a spaceship, but opened dimensional channels from the bottom of the sea, canyons and other places to cross over. The first sky-high giant monster that appeared was named Dagon, the ruler of the old days. He landed in Neon and reduced it to rubble in just half a day. Armies from all over the world used aircraft, tanks, artillery and missiles to bombard it for 6 days and 6 nights. Finally, they were killed by the bombardment of 105th-generation nuclear weapons, and hundreds of millions of lives were brutally destroyed. The second giant beast, Leviathan, was wiped out after destroying half of Europe and most of Africa. The third giant beast, Skyla, appeared in Australia. The fourth giant beast, Quetzalcoatl, appeared in South America. The last giant beast appeared in the Middle East, called Shub-Niggurath. At this point, mankind has exhausted all means of war, and small monsters continue to emerge from the dimensional channels. Humanity is retreating steadily and is facing annihilation. When there is despair, hope appears. After the death of the 5 old ones, their blood flowed into the land, rivers and seas, causing a wonderful reaction. Eventually, the force revived, and humans gradually awakened to possess superpowers. They could even make their superpowers more powerful through practice and foreign intervention. The era of the Force has thus begun, and the United World Council of UED has been established to pool all human resources, develop Force technology, and implement a plan to awaken all people to cultivate superpowers. They vow to take back all land and oceans and kill on the other side of the dimensional passage. Students, this is the content on page 142 of the textbook. It is a must-take test. I didn't take the test in the first 2 years, but it is a must-take test this year. 15 points are here. It depends on whether you want to memorize it or not. The head teacher was shaking his head and talking on the podium, but few students below were listening. Teacher, I heard that the original force is now to be changed to spiritual power. If we take the test, should we write about the original force or spiritual power? Lin Hao raised his hand to ask. Since coming to this world 6 years ago, Lin Hao has studied very seriously. This world does not learn mathematics, physics, and chemistry, but instead learns force technology. 12 years of compulsory education revolves around the National Awakening Plan. As long as the textbooks don't change, just write about the force. Teacher, and Lin Hao continued to raise his hand. Okay, let's ask again later. The Awakening registration team is about to finish the Awakening ceremony in the next class. We will be next, so get ready. Oh yeah, it's finally our class 3. Let's go see class 2? Let's go. The lifeless classroom suddenly became active. Everyone rushed out of the classroom and went to class 2 to see how others were awakening. That Li Zan is so big. I thought he had awakened strengthening powers, but turned out to be a special element light nanny? He must be a poisonous nanny. Jack Ma usually likes to practice the ancient martial art Jeet Kune Do, but what he awakened is a trait type C-level prophecy. That's not good. Others have predicted where you are going to hit before you take action. You may not be able to get close to him even if you are 10. The most outrageous thing is that the school beauty Li Yunqi has awakened the powers of the 3 elements of wind, fire and water, and she is all sulfur monosulfide level. How did fire and water awaken together? Isn't it said that fire and water are incompatible? What's so strange about this? Someone awakened light and darkness together before. I'll go find Li Yunqi to confess my love after school. Then let's go watch your monkey show after school. The awakening of class 2 was soon over, and the students came back one after another. The most talked about one was the school beauty named Li Yunqi, who had awakened 3 powers, all of which were SS level. Lin Hao didn't find it strange. This is the #1 middle school in the Magic City, a truly aristocratic school, and the people who attend it are either rich or noble. As the saying goes, the poor in culture and the rich in martial arts, students here have been nurtured by family resources since birth. By the time they awaken at the age of 18, the worst in history is that there are no students with powers lower than D level, and students who have awakened 3 SS level powers. This is not the first case. Besides, in ordinary schools, the whole grade is gathered together in the playground for awakening, but here, groups are arranged to come class by class. Rich people enjoy different services. Of course, Lin Hao's family is not rich. He was able to study here only because his parents were super war heroes and were specially approved by the government. Everyone sit down. 2 registrars in special uniforms came to the class podium with instruments in hand, connected the instruments to the handheld optical computer equipment, and calibrated the database. Today is April 4th, Force Era 444. Please remember that from today on, you are no longer ordinary people, you are awakened ones, the hope of mankind, and the pillars of UED. Let me put it simply, powers are divided into 5 categories: enhancement, telekinesis, traits, natural elements, and special elements. The level strength is calculated separately. F level is the lowest and SSR level is the highest. Okay, now the students whose names are read, please stand on the podium. Zhang Yang, the most arrogant thorn in the class, is the first to go up. I saw his hand on the instrument, and the formation lighted up on his hands and feet. Soon the force flowed through the body through the formation, stimulating supernatural powers. After a few breaths, a lightning-like phenomenon appeared on Zhang Yang's left hand. Yeah, not bad, natural elemental thunder power, sea level. Yes, Zhang Yang roared, thunder power was a rare power, and the sea level attack power was even comparable to other A-level powers. When he left the podium and returned to his seat, he passed by Lin Hao and deliberately activated his newly awakened thunder power with 2 fingers, shocking Lin Hao. Ah! Lin Hao jumped up after being electrocuted. The whole class burst into laughter, and even the students from Class 1 and Class 2 who were watching outside the window also laughed. Damn it, it's really embarrassing. Lin Hao gritted his teeth and vowed in his heart that this guy would die without a burial place. Keep quiet during the awakening ceremony. Classmate, since you are so anxious, come up first. Lin Hao lowered his head, walked up to the podium, reported his name and student number, and then began to awaken. Just as the instrument was activated, a light spot appeared on Lin Hao's forehead, and then a strange image appeared above his head. A stalwart knight whose face could not be seen clearly, dressed in golden armor, holding a huge hammer in both hands, stood on the top of the mountain and was exuding with the holy light. Wow, it's a vision. There was an instant commotion inside and outside the classroom, and the appearance of a strange phenomenon meant the emergence of the SSR level and the title of a profession. Such people are the strongest in the world. Zhang Yang clenched his fists with both hands and cursed in his heart, why did this sick and dead boy have visions? As expected of number 1 middle school in the Magic City, an SSR class was born this year. I read that the information shows that he is the child of Lin Guanyin and Li Yu? That's right, he should have inherited his father's ability as the Holy Light Knight. The 2 registrars were chatting with each other, admiring Lin Hao in their eyes. The Holy Light Knight Lin Guanyin, a strong man who rose from the bottom and almost reached the top, died in an extremely important battle as a husband and wife, bringing a decisive turning point to the battle. The students inside and outside the classroom were either envious or jealous, only the head teacher looked pleased. Li Yunqi, the school beauty who was passing by, stopped to watch and thought that this person did not seem to be from a big family. He could awaken to the SSR level. He must inform his family and win over him as soon as possible. The rest of the extended family had the same idea. At this moment, the vision changed. A figure whose appearance was also unclear, wearing a hooded black robe outside the black gold armor, holding a big sword flashing with strange runes, suddenly appeared from behind the Knight of Holy Light, and then stabbed the back with a sword, revealing the figure, out of the heart. When he finally drew his sword, he kicked the Holy Light Knight off the cliff. The camera of the vision follows the Holy Light Knight throughout the whole process, until he falls to the bottom of the mountain and dies. The vision ends and everything returns to calm. What is this? Can we still have such a vision? How do I register this? The instrument doesn't detect any abilities, and it doesn't have any levels. 2 staff members, you look at me and I look at you. Under the podium, the students were already bursting into laughter. Zhang Yang even burst out laughing, and people from all major families shook their heads. From this moment on, Lin Hao got a nickname, called the Dead Knight. Lin Hao got off the podium and returned to his seat. He ignored the classmates who were laughing at him, grabbed his school bag and left the classroom directly. The head teacher didn't stop him. He felt that it was such a big blow and it would be better to let the child be alone. Don't worry about this little incident. Next, Wang Jikai. The world will still turn around without anyone, and the awakening ceremony will still have to be carried out. After leaving the classroom, Lin Hao was very excited as he ran all the way home. After all these years, do you know how I got here? The first minute he came to this world, a voice asked him if he wanted to be bound. He said that he was the only golden finger in the local area and could greatly enhance all abilities and training effects. Immediately, a voice said, "Don't bind that garbage. He came through time together with Lin Hao and possesses the origin power of Diablo. Finally, there is one, which says that it comes from the Azeroth derivative world Hearthstone. Lin Hao named them Gua A, Gua B, Gua C in order. The three plugins all wanted to be bound to Lin Hao alone. They were incompatible with each other and started fighting. Only the one who survived was qualified to become the host's golden finger. The war lasted for 5 years in Lin Hao's body. During this period, Lin Hao's energy and blood sources were directly extracted for many battles, causing Lin Hao to look scrawny and sickly. If the wind was strong, he would be blown to the ground, becoming a target for the whole class and even the target of bullying at all levels. Zhang Yang was the guy who took the lead in bullying. He bullied the thin Lin Hao many times because of his family's wealth and power. If Lin Hao's sister hadn't known about it, she went crazy with a kitchen knife and wanted to chop Zhang Yang to death. In addition, his parents' former comrades put pressure on the school to make Zhang Yang restrain himself. Lin Hao might have been bullied to death in middle school. Going a step further, let's talk about the three cheats. Hacker B won the victory in the 5th year, but Hacker A and Hacker C were unwilling to accept it and chose to die together. The last 3 plugins merged into one, but their consciousness was completely dead, and they were bound to Lin Hao with their last instincts. From that time on, Lin Hao's body gradually improved and returned to normal. When I got home, I slammed the door shut and locked it. Lin Hao threw his school bag on the sofa, picked up the photo of his sister and himself, and started touching it. Sister Lin Yarong is a girl adopted by Lin Hao's parents and is 4 years older than Lin Hao. Since Lin Hao's parents died, the two siblings depended on each other and relied on the inheritance left by their parents. However, Lin Hao was seriously ill after being absorbed by 3 cheats. Lin Yarong did not hesitate to spend most of her inheritance to cure Lin Hao. The two siblings lived very hard in those 5 years. In order to take care of Lin Hao, Lin Yarong postponed the college entrance examination for 2 years. It was not until Lin Hao's health improved that she could take care of herself. Then she took the college entrance examination the year before last and was admitted to the 3rd War College in the Magic City. Putting down the photo of his sister, Lin Hao came back from his thoughts. Open the status interface. A dialogue window similar to that of a light brain opened out of thin air. Only Lin Hao could see it. This was the dead plugin. Host: Lin Hao. Race: Death Knight, Death Knight. Level: Level 1 Awakening Power, Super Strength. Strength: 23 Agility, 12 Intelligence, 17 Physical Fitness, 20. Magic: 255 Movement Speed, 320, plus 64, Skill. Death Coil, 1/10, Single Target Skill, consumes 75 mana, has a distance of 160, causes 200 points of damage or restores 400 points of life to the undead unit. Death Pact, 1/10, Single Target Skill, consumes 50 mana, has a distance of 160, and kills an undead unit on our side. 200% of its health will be converted into your own life. Evil Aura, 1/10, Group Aura Skill, range 180, movement speed plus 20%, life recovery 1 per second. Manipulate the Dead, 1/5, Group Skill, consumes 250 mana, has a range of 180, resurrects 12 selected dead units for 80 seconds, and is invincible during the resurrection. Ha 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 ha. After looking at his attribute panel and skills, Lin Hao smiled wildly. When I woke up in the classroom earlier, the holy light of the vision caused the plugin to issue a red warning. I don't know if it was because the plugin was dead. It was extremely disgusted with the holy light that symbolized holiness, and a dialog box popped up to erase the holy light. A card was activated, and the Lordaeron with Frostmourne appeared with his dutiful son, stabbing the Holy Light Knight to death with one sword. When the Holy Light Knight fell off the cliff, the dialog box showed that the power of death had been intercepted from the origin of the world, and the host would become a Death Knight and face death together with the plugin. On the way home just now, the plugin has been strengthening skills, so Lin Hao at level 1 already has 4 skills of the Death Knight, and 3 skills can be upgraded to level 10, and the final ultimate move can be upgraded to level 5. Lin Hao believed the words of the 2 registrars. If the abnormality appeared, it must be SSR level. However, the Death Knight who can wipe out the Holy Light Knight is definitely above SSR. Or, even the plugin doesn't know how strong it is, so the power strength only shows 3 question marks. Next, Lin Hao does not plan to go back to school. In ordinary schools, after the awakening ceremony of the senior year of high school is completed, students will be organized to upgrade. But in a school like Mudu No. 1 Middle School, All the students are from rich families and have their own arrangements at home. The school will be on vacation for 2 months in a row, and everyone will not go back until before the college entrance examination. Lin Hao went back to the room and pulled out a box from under the bed. Inside was something that his sister left for him, saying that he could use it after awakening. Opening the box, he found a sharp dagger, which his sister brought to him when she came back from winter vacation. It was called a butcher's knife. After the appraisal, Lin Hao was moved by the attributes. No level or attribute restrictions. Attack power of 22 to 26. Damage to monsters and humans plus 30%. Reduce the cooldown of all skills by 10%. All energy consumption reduced by 10%. There is also a cloak, which my sister brought back during the winter vacation. It is called the Call of a Far Journey. It is made of the leather of exotic animals. It is lightweight and has good defense. It also has a high-level rune effect. When receiving fatal damage, the cloak will automatically cast smoke bombs and immediately restore 25% of health. It can only take effect once every 120 seconds, and can take effect 5 times in total. This is equivalent to having 5 lives, the best equipment for experts to open up Wasteland. Finally, there was a round-trip ferry ticket to the Neon District, which his sister also bought for him. The neon area that was reduced to rubble was later cleared back and forth, leaving low-level monsters breeding, and now it has become a hunting ground for people. 2 months before the college entrance examination every year, a particularly large number of children from rich families come here to practice leveling. There was also a letter, which contained the bank account number and password that my sister had opened for Lin Hao. She only left one sentence: "Come on, my dearest brother." Lin Hao immediately took the envelope, brought his ID, went to the bank to go through the procedures, and activated his account. There was 5 million in it, which was enough for him to go to the Neon District to level up this time. You need to prepare some things to go to the Neon area, such as recovery potions, food, telescopes, auxiliary light brain, etc. Regarding storage, the portable bank Smart Halo provides space storage services. This is a major breakthrough of force technology combined with space capabilities. As long as you open a bank account and deposit up to 1 million, you will receive a space storage halo immediately. The more deposits you make, the more space you will receive, the bigger. Early the next morning, Lin Hao sent a text message to his class teacher and then boarded the spaceship to the Neon District. Lin Hao is full of expectations for the future. After setting foot in the Neon Zone, Lin Hao didn't waste a moment. The time for leveling up was very urgent. When humans kill monsters, a large part of the monster's force will be directly absorbed by humans. When accumulated to a certain level, their abilities will increase. After 400 years of development of force technology, humans have mastered complete data. The absorbed force is displayed by experience points, and the limits of ability improvement are represented by levels. The auxiliary optical brain can display all of this very well. This makes it easier for all superpowers to kill monsters and level up. Lin Hao, who is at level 1, can only kill monsters such as slimes and goblins first. It is very difficult to earn experience. He only earns 1 experience point by killing 1. Fortunately, the butcher's knife is very powerful, with a 30% damage bonus to monsters. Lin Hao can almost kill these low-level monsters with 1 blow as long as he aims at their vital points. After killing 20 monsters, I finally reached level 2. Lin Hao, who was resting under a tree, looked at his attribute panel and something strange happened. According to the content taught in the class, before reaching level 20, for each level, 5 attribute points can be freely allocated, which can be allocated through the leveling-assisted optical brain. However, after you level up, your attribute points cannot be distributed freely, but will increase automatically. Moreover, all 4 attributes have increased. Strength, 28.4. Agility, 15. Intelligence, 20.6. Physical fitness, 24.8. This is now the properties panel. Lin Hao looked at it and wondered, what are these decimal points? I have never heard of attributes with a decimal point. Whether it is in school textbooks or street literature outside, I have never seen it. After some calculations, the strength growth level is 5.4, the agility growth level is 3, the intelligence growth level is 3.6, and the physical fitness growth level is 4.8. It seems that there are 16.8 attribute points in total. This isn't bad. Although the plugin is dead, it is still useful. Keep hunting monsters. The experience value increases geometrically between each level. In 2 months, I don't know how many levels I can level up. To reach level 3, you need to kill 40 slimes. After level 3, there is no experience for killing slimes. Looking at the slimes crawling all over the ground, Lin Hao sighed and had to find a more advanced monster. Or it would be better to go deeper. With the butcher's knife in hand and the summoning cloak for traveling far away, there shouldn't be any big problem. Huh? There is movement ahead. It seems like a large number of monsters are moving. Not far ahead, Lin Hao could clearly feel the ground, flowers and trees shaking slightly. This was a large number of monsters running. Quickly climb up a tall tree nearby and take out the binoculars. Not far away, a burly man, holding a shield in one hand and a sword in the other, wearing armor, was using the shouting skill to attract monsters. A large number of goblins were ignited with anger and rushed towards the big man like crazy. However, the big man did not kill the goblins that were rushing around him. Instead, he led the group of monsters and ran out of the forest. Lin Hao felt curious and followed him from a distance, wanting to see what happened. Soon he left the forest and came to the large plain outside. Lin Hao used the dense leaves on a tall tree to cover himself, holding a telescope and looking in the direction where the big man was running. There are 3 people on the ground, 2 old men and a young girl. The old man is dressed in Professor Dumbledore's civilian clothes and holds a long staff. The girl is wearing a tight-fitting combat uniform and also holds a gorgeous staff, as if she is waiting. What are you wearing? Huh? Isn't that the school beauty Li Yunqi from class 2? Lin Hao recognized her at first sight. Li Yunqi, the college beauty, was so dazzling. With her exquisite figure, long black hair, and iconic delicate facial features, it was impossible to forget her after just one glance. At this time, people rushed out from 7 directions in the surrounding forest, followed by a large group of crazy goblins, and slimes. These people, like the big man Lin Hao saw, used their skills to attract low-level monsters in groups, came in front of the old man and Li Yunqi, and then circled around to gather the monsters. Immediately afterwards, the 2 old men raised their staffs and released skills at the same time. Lin Hao didn't know what skills they used. One directly knocked out all the low-level monsters on the ground, while the other slowly burned and accurately controlled the monster's life to a near-death state. Then, the 2 old men flew into the sky, and they couldn't even be seen. Li Yunqi waited for a while to make sure that the old man was out of the battle, then raised his staff and released the spell, Energy Cyclone, Fanatic Wind, which is a ranged spell that combines the fire element and the wind element, directly killing all these dying monsters. Burn to death, enjoy all experience exclusively, and instantly upgrade from level 1 to level 8. Awesome! Lin Hao said something in his heart. The dead branch he was stepping on could not bear his weight and broke with a click. When the branch fell, it caused some noise and movement. 2 old men descended from the sky, and they were keen enough to notice that someone was peeking nearby. Mr. Mew, don't worry about it. He must be a spy from another family. The college entrance examination is around the corner and everyone is leveling up. Don't worry about other people. Let's go to the next leveling point. Li Yunqi raised her hand and stopped the 2 old men from paying attention to the people nearby. It was just leveling up. Isn't everyone leveling up like this? There is nothing to be afraid of being seen. Anyway, they just changed positions after a group wave. It's Miss. Let's go. Miss is already level 8, go find the gathering point of level 10 monsters. The spies ahead reported that there is a gathering point for trolls. Let's go there. Yes. The big men opened the way in front, and 2 old men escorted Li Yunqi closely behind. Only when they were far away did Lin Hao dare to breathe loudly. Huh, that's really awesome. It turns out that this is how the aristocratic family levels up. Li Yunqi's range combination element spell was not something that ordinary level 1 people could learn. Lin Hao estimated that he would need at least an intermediate skill scroll to learn it. But how is it possible for level 1 to learn intermediate skills? The answer is yes. There is a kind of medicine, which is developed by mixing the essence of the monster's spinal cord, brain, and heart marrow with a soft mineral called the Stone of Creation, which appeared only after the force was revived, and it is called the Fruit of Creation. The creation fruit is divided into 4 attributes: strength, agility, intelligence, and physical fitness. The effect is that the user can increase the corresponding attributes by 1 to 3 points. Creation fruits are divided into 4 levels: elementary, medium, high and special, corresponding to the levels 20/40ths, 60/80ths. You can use up to 50 elementary creation fruits before level 20, which can increase up to 150 attribute points. Increase by at least 50 points. The amount of increase is related to personal talent, understanding, perseverance, luck, etc., and is very complicated. The primary creation fruit costs 5 million each, which ordinary people cannot afford to consume. Li Yunqi used 50 intelligence fruits before, and then used a large number of intermediate skill scrolls to refresh her skills until she reached a range of skills that did not limit the level and only required intelligence. In this way, she could master large-scale and high-depth skills at level 1. No wonder the top scorers in the college entrance examination over the years are all the children of aristocratic families. There is no comparison on this point. If you take the exam with a small fireball, and others set off a storm, how can you compare? Not to mention intermediate skill scrolls, elementary skill scrolls are not something ordinary people can afford to consume casually. In addition, high-quality equipment and weapons are not available to civilians. For example, the staff Li Yunqi holds is probably made of fine steel. It has no level restrictions, reduces consumption in CD, and also brings back magic. So, even at level 20, how can commoners compare with the children of aristocratic families? Fair? That's only relative to people of the same class. There is never any fairness between different classes. However, now that I have a plugin in my hand, although it is already dead, and possesses the power of death that surpasses SSR, I may not be able to compete with the children of these aristocratic families. Get over your shock and go find monsters to level up. Lin Hao also thought about Li Yunqi's leveling method. Or, you should also change the way you level up. My leveling method is fixed in the mentality of playing RPG games in my previous life to open up Wasteland. When I went out to level up, I would kill monsters with one sword at a time. After killing one or two, I would meditate to recover, accumulating experience and skills in an extremely slow way. Gold coins. The key to leveling up is the word liver. Now, he has 4 skills of the Death Knight, which have been enhanced by plugins. Looking at the 4 skills, they are all used by leading troops, not by yourself alone. Therefore, the way for a Death Knight to level up is to let the undead creatures kill in front, while he picks up the ones behind. When his life is in danger, he sacrifices undead creatures to replenish his life and ensure his own survival. The Death Knight skills are more like those used by auxiliary soldiers. However, now my resurrection skills require corpses, so I can't make something out of nothing for the time being. Where to find a place with both corpses and a lot of monsters nearby? Lin Hao was thinking about this issue while walking. Maybe all the nearby monsters had been pulled away, so it was very safe. As Lin Hao walked, a small mound appeared in front of him unknowingly. Holy shit, such a high mound? Wait, a mutated ant nest? Lin Hao carefully identified it and compared it with the data of the auxiliary optical brain. He was sure that this was the nest of mutated fire ants. Mutated fire ants generally have levels between 3 and 10, with worker ants at level 3, soldier ants at level 5 to 8, and queens at level 10. A small number of elite guard ants can reach level 10 or above. The overall level is not high, but the number is frightening. Moreover, the smallest workers of the mutated fire ants are as big as an adult's hand. For some unknown reason, the mutant fire ants in the nest did not come out to look for food. Lin Hao even walked into the nest, and no mutant fire ants came out to attack him. Assisted optical brain to scan underground life conditions. The auxiliary optical brain scan was soon completed, and the situation 30 meters underground was scanned. The mutated fire ants were sorting out a large amount of food that had just been harvested. It was quiet on the ground, but it was very lively underground. Lin Hao was made goosebumps all over by the dense number of mutated fire ants scanned by the optical brain. But suddenly I turned around and thought, if I have such a huge number of undead legions, wouldn't it be easy to level up? This world is not a world where heroes fighting alone can perform whatever they want. This is a world of war. Just like Li Yunqi, Lin Hao estimated that she followed the path of the Dharma God, also known as the Fort Mage. This is the elemental attribute that is very suitable for her awakening, and the lethality is extremely huge, as long as there are enough people to protect her with shields, and after she finishes chanting those powerful magics and releases her skills, tens of thousands of monsters will be killed. The superfamily is in great need of this kind of war machine. Lin Hao was thinking, perhaps he could also be a war machine that provides a halo? I don't know, my level is still low anyway, I need to level up first. The evil aura is always on. Although there is no consumption, I don't know how to upgrade it. Use the corpse manipulation skill to feel all the corpses underground to see if there are any suitable targets. The moment the skill is activated, Lin Hao can feel all the corpses in a circle with a diameter of 180 meters. There seems to be a wonderful thing inside the corpses. This thing has the opposite attribute to life. It is invisible and indescribable, but death the power can be clearly felt. About 80 meters underground, there is a place where the corpses of some mutant fire ants are stored. These mutant fire ants are much more powerful than ordinary mutant fire ants, reaching a full 13 levels. Lin Hao immediately realized that the corpses of these mutated fire ants should be guarded by the queen ant, which is the strongest ant army. That's it. Lin Hao activated the skill, but there seemed to be something missing just by activating the skill. Then, for some reason, Lin Hao shouted in a very accurate manner, "Get up, my warriors, and kill all the living creatures in the ant nest." 81 meters underground, where the corpses of the queen ant guards were stored, the tentacles on the heads of the 12 corpses moved a few times, and then they opened their eyes one by one, with a strange blue-white light shining in their eyes. These 12 resurrected queen ant guards instantly rushed out of the corpse storage room and divided into 12 routes to attack. As long as they saw, encountered, or touched any life, whether it was worker ants, soldier ants, or even male ants, they would all be attacked. He directly used the giant pincers on his forehead to clamp him to death without any hesitation. These resurrected queen ant guards are in an invincible state that cannot be selected during the resurrection period. Even when they attack the mutated fire ants, they still cannot be selected. There is no single enemy in the entire nest. There was a killing spree on the line. The mutated fire ants in the nest are completely unaware of the situation and don't understand why the queen's guards attacked them. Did they do something wrong? But the queen ant didn't have any orders. With no time to think, no way to think, no time to escape, these mutated fire ants were cut in half and killed on the spot. Soon, the entire nest began to become a mess, and the mutant fire ants also communicated with each other. Everyone began to run for their lives. The news that the queen was guarding the rebellion quickly reached the queen, who immediately sent out pheromones and ordered all worker ants, soldier ants, and male ants to come over immediately to protect herself. In the eyes of the queen ant, she is the group, and the group is herself. As long as she is still alive, sooner or later a new group will emerge. So the pheromone orders all mutant fire ants to protect themselves desperately. As a result, the mutated fire ants became extremely concentrated, making it easier for the 12 resurrected queen ant guards to kill. Experience +1, experience +2, experience +3, experience +1, experience +1. Experience points surged crazily, and Lin Hao closed his eyes and enjoyed the pleasure of level up. Soon, the level was raised to level 5. The plugin suddenly popped up a dialog box. Awakening skill, Flame Slash. Ignite the air in front of you, causing 230% weapon damage, and generating 5 points of anger as fire damage. Awakening skill, Shield Bash. Consume 30 anger points, rush towards the enemy and slam the target and all surrounding enemies with the shield, causing 700% weapon damage, plus damage equivalent to 300% of the shield's blocking chance, as evil damage. Damn it, I just said that I should be an undead commander who can lead thousands of horses and thousands of armies, and now you give me the skills to awaken and level up alone? Are you kidding me? Do you have to charge the front alone? Lin Hao looked at the two skills and was speechless. Others just gave him pillows when they were sleepy, but he just did the opposite. Hey, no, if you think about it more deeply, even if you command an undead army in the future, there will always be enemies who have the ability to break through the army in front of you in an instant. If you don't have the power to protect yourself or fight, you will be defeated by thousands of enemies. The one who took the head in the bush. Forget it, since it is a skill that a plugin can help you awaken, there is always a reason for it. Even if it dies, it still has the instinct to protect the host and strengthen the host. This is the instinct it still executes even if it dies. The 80 seconds of corpse manipulation passed quickly. In these 80 seconds, the 12 Queen Ant Guard corpses were killed very happily. It was normal to kill 2 or 3 with one pincer. When the time was up, the 12 corpses shook all over, then turned into black mist, completely disappearing between the sky and the earth. If it weren't for the large number of mutated fire ant corpses they left behind along the way, the ant colony would have felt as if they had never appeared. At this time, Lin Hao had reached level 7 and tasted the benefits. Now wait for the CD time of corpse manipulation to pass, which is 180 seconds. 180 seconds, which is 3 minutes. It was originally a very fast CD time, but when I upgraded to level 5, the attribute panel changed. The magic power disappeared and became anger value. The effect of increasing intelligence became increasing the upper limit and recovery speed of anger value. 1 point of intelligence increases the upper limit of 15 points of anger, and has a recovery speed of 0.01. Now Lin Hao has 38.6 intelligence. the upper limit of anger value is 579, and the recovery speed is 0.386 per second. Is this recovery speed too slow? Meditation, etc., have no effect at all. Drinking magic power recovery potions is useless. I bought so many magic power recovery potions for nothing. Looking at the skill panel in a daze, I thought for a while about how to crack this. According to the natural recovery rate, the next time you use to manipulate a dead body, you have to wait 583 seconds, which is 9.7 minutes. This made Lin Hao anxious to death. 10 minutes, Lin Hao couldn't wait. He wanted to level up as soon as possible, and then see if there were any ways to make money, get some skill scrolls or create fruits to eat before the college entrance examination. Wait, there seems to be something wrong with the two newly acquired skills, Flame Slash and Shield Slam. These two skills only have level 1. Flame Slash generates 5 rage points when used, and Shield Slam consumes 30 rage points. Does that mean that as long as you use Flame Slash, you can recover 5 points of anger every time you swing it? Lin Hao quickly tried it. Fire Slash. I tried it on a small tree next to me. The bark of the small tree was ignited when I passed it with the knife, but the fire was quickly extinguished. I quickly checked my anger level, and sure enough, it increased by 5 points. Try it again and slash the air with Flame Slash. Fire Slash. As soon as the knife went down, the air temperature in front was several degrees higher. Sure enough, the anger value increased by 5 points. It seemed that as long as he swung the sword fast enough, his anger value would be endless. Fire Slash, Flame Slash. Lin Hao kept swinging the knife into the air and using the Flame Slash skill. Those who didn't know thought he was practicing how to swing the knife. Soon, the anger level was full, and there were still 30 seconds left on the CD of the skill to control the dead. Let's see how far that ant nest can level me up this time. Returning to the vicinity of the ant nest again, Lin Hao used optical brain scanning. This time the underground was in chaos, and the pheromones protecting the queen ant seemed to have not been released. When 30 seconds were up, Lin Hao continued to control the dead bodies. It was still the place 81 meters underground where the corpses of the ant queens were stored. He continued to resurrect 12 corpses. This time the purpose was very clear. He just had to kill directly to where the ant queen was. All the living mutant fire ants are all in that direction. The 12 resurrected queen ant guards are like ruthless killing machines, their eyes flashing with strange blue-white light, rushing towards the queen's position, killing everything they encounter along the way. The number of mutated fire ants is decreasing very quickly. These queen ant guards are invincible and cannot be selected. There is no resistance at all. They only need to ruthlessly and continuously wave their giant pincers to kill everything in front of them. Life. The 80 seconds passed quickly, and Lin Hao felt that the increase in experience had slowed down a bit. This time, it reached level 10. Awakening skill. Enthusiasm, passive. When using one-handed weapons, the attack speed is increased by 15%, and the cooldown time of all skills is reduced by 15%. Awakening skill. Power of Hell, passive. You can equip a two-handed weapon in your main hand and a shield in your offhand. These two skills conflict and cannot be activated at the same time. The pig-killing knife used now is a one-handed weapon. Zeal is automatically activated, and the skill cooldown is increased by 15%. After taking a look, the butcher's knife has -10% CD, and now the passive skill has -15% CD. These two are not additive, but calculated according to a formula. Lin Hao probably calculated the formula, which is probably the original CD times 1 CD reduction percentage, the number of seconds the skill CD is reduced. Calculated in this way, the CD of controlling the dead body is reduced from 180 seconds to 135 seconds. This is gratifying. If the time is reduced, it means that the speed of leveling has been accelerated. Quickly use Flame Slash to restore the anger value, then wait for the CD to control the dead body to end, and continue the previous operation. Playing until night, Lin Hao killed the entire mutated fire ant nest alive and reached level 13. There was almost no experience in the future, but Lin Hao still couldn't hold back, and continued to use skills to resurrect corpses and chase these mutated fire ants, leaving only the queen ant unkilled. Looking at the time, it's time to find a place, eat something, and then have a good sleep. I have reached level 13 in such a short time since I came here, and I am already very satisfied. I wonder if the people from the aristocratic families have reached level 20 and are ready to go back. For everyone's level, there will be a promotion level at level 20. You must complete the promotion before you can continue to level 21. If you don't advance, it will be useless no matter how many monsters you kill, and you won't be able to absorb any experience. UED said that for the sake of fairness, the materials for level 20 advancement are strictly limited to universities and colleges, and must be redeemed with points. As a result, during the college entrance examination, you can only practice up to level 20. If you exceed level 21, you will be considered cheating and will be disqualified from the exam. No one will say anything. Even those aristocratic families abide by this rule. Don't think it's fair if everyone is level 20. As mentioned before, fairness does not exist. So the big family doesn't matter at all. It is sometimes necessary to put on a show for the common people, to make them feel that there is still a huge gap under the so-called fairness, which makes them desperate and willing to be exploited. Lin Hao calmed down. It would be best if all the wealthy families left, so that he could go around resurrecting corpses to level up. Finding a riverside, Lin Hao climbed up a tree, took out some bread to eat, and used a telescope to look at the surrounding situation. It was originally dark all around, and the telescope had a night vision function, but nothing happened. Suddenly, someone lit a fire in the distance. Lin Hao quickly looked over. There were 5 people surrounding the fire. One of them, even Lin Hao, could recognize him even after he turned to ashes. That person was Zhang Yang, who took the lead in bullying him. Zhang Yang is the youngest son of the president of the Thorn Gold Guild. The Thorn Gold Guild has developed rapidly in recent years and has strong momentum. It has cooperative relationships with many large financial groups. In addition, Zhang Yang is the youngest son in the family and is very favored, so he is arrogant and domineering. However, others have the ability to be arrogant. Looking at the 4 people around him, Lin Hao felt that they had all advanced to levels 40 or 50 at least twice. However, compared to the 2 old men beside Li Yunqi, these people are already more than 1 level behind intuitively. At this time, the 5 of them had taken off their armor and weapons and were applying medicine to each other. They all seemed to be injured. Lin Hao looked around them, and a corpse fell down. It was the corpse of a Naga water snake, which was at least a level 40 monster. It's strange. Didn't the Neon District say there are no monsters over level 30? Why are there Naga water snakes? And there are at least a dozen or 20 of them? Lin Hao used the control of the dead body to feel it. It was indeed that he had just been killed, and the residual resentment in his soul was still there. It's just that the distance is too far to activate skills to resurrect these corpses. Suddenly Lin Hao had a bold idea. Sure enough, the news is correct. Naga water snakes entered the neon area from the sea and swam up the river to build their nests. This time we successfully ambushed and got a lot of beast cores, said the Thorn Gold Guild warrior. Originally I guessed there were only about 10, but I didn't expect there to be 20. We didn't bring enough equipment to collect the spinal cord, brain, and heart, so we couldn't collect them all. It was really a bit of a loss, said the Thorn Gold Guild mage. Don't think so much. 20 level 42 Naga water snake beast cores are worth 100 million. Including the collection of 12 spinal cords, brains, and heart marrow, it is worth at least 36 million. After returning, apart from the handling fee and information fee, everyone can get at least 25 million. Isn't it enough? It's only 1 day, said the team leader. That's right, we also brought Zhang Yang out to see the world, said the Thorn Gold Guild warrior. Zhang Yang said to the 4 people, the news is definitely correct. I bought this news on the black market for several million. I thought the money was free. As soon as he finished speaking, he suddenly heard a plop sound, as if something fell into the water. Everyone immediately picked up their weapons and became alert. We just had a battle with 20 Naga water snakes. Although we successfully set up a trap to ambush them, the Naga water snakes were so numerous that they fought back at the last moment and still injured them. Now it can be said that he is at his weakest, and he has to take off his armor and apply external medicine for treatment. Don't be impulsive, I'm not a monster. A voice came from the darkness, and then a figure appeared. The squad leader picked up the torch from the fire and shined it over. He saw a young man who looked like a student. Haha, I can meet you here, you sick boy. Zhang Yang recognized at a glance that the figure appearing in the darkness was the so-called Dead Knight, Lin Hao, who died of illness. The nickname, Sick and Dead Boy, was given to Lin Hao by Zhang Yang himself, who told him to be so sickly that he looked like he could be blown away by the wind. What else could he call him, Sick and Dead Boy? However, Lin Hao has recovered very well in the past year. He is no longer as frail as before. He has gained some muscle and is much taller. Especially today, after the upgrade, Lin Hao felt that his body had also changed. I haven't seen you for a while. You've grown taller? Your face has gained weight too? Did you eat some golden squid? Introduce me to eat some too. I want to grow taller too? Zhang Yang was teasing Lin Hao. He clearly felt that during the school awakening ceremony, Lin Hao was definitely not as tall as he is now, nor as strong and muscular as he is now, although he was still a little thin compared to himself. But this is still far different from Lin Hao's previous body shape. Lin Hao pretended to flinch and said, I didn't know you were here. I saw the fire, so I just came over to get some hot water. I'm leaving now. After saying that, he turned around and left. Zhang Yang threw the sword away and inserted it in front of Lin Hao, blocking his way. Who allowed you to leave? Scared us and then wanted to leave? Who allowed you to leave? Let me ask you, did you allow it? The people from the Thorn Gold Guild immediately laughed and said, how can it be allowed? We were shocked just now and we are not allowed to pay compensation? How can we do that? Lin Hao turned back and asked, what do you want? Zhang Yang said, it's nothing. You take off your clothes, dance around the fire and show us. If you are satisfied, we will let you go. 5 grown men, watching me dance as a man? Are you all gay? Lin Hao said with a chuckle. If I hadn't come out to fight level 42 monsters this time, I would have brought a girl with me. It's just a neon area. There are no women now. It's okay to look at a sick kid like you. Your figure is so thin. Not much different from a girl. Lin Hao sighed and said, what if I say no? Take off your clothes quickly, don't waste my time. Otherwise, I will break your hands and feet right now and throw you into the goblin's lair. Or the goblins think you are a woman and don't kill you, and they will F**k your anus every day. Not necessarily. Ha 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 ha. Zhang Yang's expression was extremely arrogant, as if Lin Hao was just meat on the chopping board and could be manipulated as he pleased. Zhang Yang, when my sister entered the school with a knife and wanted to kill you, I shouldn't have stopped her, Lin Hao sighed. What, do you think that bastard sister of yours really dares to kill me? Do you know who I am? If it weren't for your damn parents and comrades, I would have killed your siblings on the spot. No, your sister also she looks pretty, so she can at least be sold to nightclubs to perform human-animal battles. Zhang Yang said with a vicious look on his face that he was really embarrassed when Lin Yarong went to school to chop him with a kitchen knife and informed his parents and comrades. Lin Hao's parents' comrades were all very important military figures. They personally went to school to deal with Lin Hao's bullying. That time Lin Yarong chased Zhang Yang with a knife, and no one dared to stop him. In the end, Zhang Yang's father, the president of the Thorn Gold Guild, came to the school and assured Lin Hao's parents and comrades in person that Zhang Yang would never bully Lin Hao again in the future, and the matter ended. However, Zhang Yang didn't do it openly and secretly made trouble. Lin Hao said, Zhang Yang, do you think I really can't deal with you? Zhang Yang and the 4 members of the Thorn Gold Guild laughed together. What, deal with me? Just you? Let's put it this way, Lin Hao, this is a neon area and a hunting area. There are often accidents, and then people die at the hands of monsters. Tell me, how did you, a target shooter, die tonight? Who knows? Here there are no cameras. Zhang Yang had already pulled out a dagger from behind, wondering whether to cut out Lin Hao's tongue or the roots of his descendants first. The 4 people from the Thorn Gold Guild also sentenced Lin Hao to death. Here, it is really normal for someone to die. If you want to blame it, you have to blame yourself for knocking on the door. What kind of war hero? In an organization like the Thorn Gold Guild, where interests come first, the word hero is never recognized. Lin Hao finally shook his head and said, it's what you said, this is a neon hunting area. If there are some accidents, people will die in the hands of monsters. Who knows, right? Haha. Have you lost your mind and gone crazy? Do you still want to stimulate me? I can assure you that you think death is a luxury. Zhang Yang had had enough of talking and decided to take action. Lin Hao ignored Zhang Yang and said softly, resurrection, my warrior. At this moment, the Naga water snake on the ground moved its fingers, and then once again grasped the weapon that had fallen to the ground. The Naga water snake is an aquatic monster that can make its own weapons, and the weapons it makes are very hard and sharp. Just when the captain of the Thorn Gold Guild was about to take down Lin Hao, a trident was thrust up from the ground. Unprepared by the captain, it penetrated diagonally from the lower ribs, from the chest the heart was exposed, and most of the heart was stabbed out. The team leader died suddenly on the spot. The others were shocked, thinking that the Naga water snake was pretending to be dead and making a sneak attack, and they all wanted to use their skills to kill the Naga water snake who was the leader of the sneak attack team. But before they could take action, they were hugged from behind by the Naga water snake who suddenly got up from the ground. Then 3 tridents penetrated from behind the invincible and unselectable Naga water snake and directly inserted into the backs of the 3 of them. Back, and then penetrate through the chest. The 4 people from the Thorn Gold Guild received lunch on the spot. Zhang Yang was so frightened that he fell to the ground. What's going on? Aren't these Naga water snakes already dead? How come 12 of them climbed up at once, and each one's eyes were shining with a strange blue-white light? During the awakening ceremony before, I swore that you would die without a burial place. Lin Hao took the Naga water snake to Zhang Yang. Zhang Yang experienced 3 psychological changes before his death. At first he cried and begged for mercy, but to no avail. Then he shouted threats, but at the same time he was so frightened that he became incontinent. In the end, he begged to kill himself quickly and stop cutting him. He watched his limbs being chopped into meat paste with his own eyes. Not many people could withstand this kind of torture. In just 30 seconds, Zhang Yang experienced a lifetime. Lin Hao asked the Naga water snake to bite the bodies of the remaining 4 people into pieces and then throw them into the river. Zhang Yang's body was cut into pieces and swallowed by the resurrected Naga water snake. Of course, there was one very important thing that Lin Hao never forgot, which was to loot their storage halo. The storage halo placed on the wrist is a unique product of the bank and is linked to the bank account. Lin Hao didn't dare to touch the money in the account. As long as he did, others could easily find out which account the money was transferred to. But the items in the halo space are different. They use their own fingerprints or irises to open the halo, turn the items out and throw them on the ground. Even if the main system at the bank checks the information, it is just the halo owner who pours out the items. As for where the dumped items went, the bank cannot find out. In this way, Lin Hao collected all the items that the 5 people's storage halos dumped on the ground into his own storage halo. This time he gained a lot. His own storage halo was relatively small and could hardly be filled, leaving only 1 grid of space. After all these things are done, 80 seconds is just right. When the resurrected Naga water snake turned into black mist and disappeared, the swallow Zhang Yang also disappeared with it, truly dead without a burial place. Lin Hao did not stay here anymore, put out the fire, quickly put on his night glasses and left the scene of the incident. Only then did he find a big tree with a hole in the tree that he could shelter in. He climbed up to hide, took out his flashlight, and prepared to count the loot. But before that, you need to take a look at the plugin's dialog box. Ever since you just killed Zhang Yang and the others, the plugin's dialog box message has appeared, but Lin Hao doesn't have time to read it. He has to kill people and cheat, so he doesn't have time to read text messages. Click on the plugin dialog box, which shows that you have absorbed a lot of experience. All these experiences came from Zhang Yang and the other 5 people. In an instant, they were directly promoted from level 13 to level 20. Your experience has overflowed, and the overflow experience cannot be retained before advancing. Damn it, what's going on? Lin Hao was stunned when he looked at the dialog box. When humans kill humans, they cannot absorb the force of the other party, which means they do not gain any experience points. I don't know if God doesn't want humans to kill each other, so that's why it's like this. But why did he gain experience points by killing Zhang Yang and the others? After thinking about it, there should be only 2 reasons. The first one is to publicize that they actually killed the corpses of resurrected monsters and did not kill them with their own hands. Monsters can absorb the force of humans when they kill humans. Therefore, the resurrected monster killed Zhang Yang and absorbed the force. Since they were corpses, the force could not be truly absorbed, so it was transferred to themselves, the casters. The second one is the issue of one's own race. On the status bar of the plugin, it is clearly written, race, Death Knight, Death Knight. If he was really turned into a Death Knight race by a cheat, then he would naturally be able to obtain the force by hunting humans. Lin Hao touched his heart and it was still beating. He cut his finger with a butcher knife and the blood that flowed out was still red. He looked like a human being no matter what. Regardless of the real answer, this secret must be kept well. If it is leaked, you will be the public enemy of all mankind. The dialog box has not stopped and continues to be displayed. Awakening skill. Skin of steel. Your skin becomes as hard as steel and can absorb 50% of all damage. During use, it will continue to consume 4 rage points per second. Awakening skill. Evil Warhorse. Command a warhorse from hell, allowing you to pass through the enemy formation as if you were in an uninhabited land. During use, you will continue to consume 4 rage points per second. Awakening skill. Sword of Heavenly Punishment. Consume 35 points of anger, jump up and hit the enemy with the force of thunder, causing 1700% weapon damage to all enemies within 15 meters. CD 30 seconds. Awakening skills, passive, law of courage, law of justice. The law of courage and the law of justice collide with the evil power of death of the host and have been blocked. Ma Dan, all skills are blocked. Have you ever asked your host if he agrees? Lin Hao couldn't help but curse. Those two skills, one is to increase the attack speed, and the other is to increase the resistance of all elements. They are both extremely practical passive skills. It was just blocked. Just because his name is Courage and Justice, does it conflict with the fate of his own race, the Death Knight? Unacceptable. But there is nothing we can do about this dead plugin. It is already dead. What else can be done to it? Look at the other skills. Skin of Steel reduces damage by 50%. In one word, awesome. The evil spirit War Horse is the fighting spirit turned into a horse. Even if Do Emperor chases me behind, I won't panic because his horse is not as fast as me. Sword of Heavenly Punishment, 1700% weapon damage? Wouldn't it be nice to have an awesome weapon? The big move, this is the big move that rushes into the crowd to show off, either you die or I die. However, why are they all knight skills that charge into battle? Is it because the Death Knight is still a knight at heart? Forget it, if it doesn't work out, just be a knight who charges into battle. Judging from the current skill situation, he has meat and output, can resist and fight. I am afraid that the same level 20 person may not have 1/4 of his skills. Turn off the skill bar and start counting the loot. There were so many things that Lin Hao spent some time classifying them. The most valuable ones were the 20 beast cores, one of the core materials for making skill scrolls. According to Zhang Yang and others, they were worth 100 million. Then there are the spinal cord, brain, heart and other essences recovered from 12 sets of Naga water snakes, worth 36 million. There are also dozens of equipment and weapons. These should be the spare or collection equipment and weapons of the 5 people. It's hard to say how much they are worth, but Lin Hao doesn't dare to use them or sell them because they have personal symbols engraved on them. I don't know. Whether it's the maker's symbol, the mark of their team or even the Gold Thorn Guild, these things have to be thrown away. The last valuable thing is the 2 skill scrolls. Although they are only elementary skill scrolls, they are worth at least several million each. Anyway, you can awaken skills by upgrading yourself. Unlike others don't use skill scrolls, only 1 or 2 small skills that are awakened when they awaken powers. When he was about to put away the 2 skill scrolls, his scratched finger touched the 2 scrolls. The moment the blood touched them, both scrolls lit up. The plugin reacted at this time and a dialog box popped up. You have activated the skill scroll and can only obtain death-related skills. You have obtained the skill. Command Skeleton. A skeleton is resurrected from the ground every 2 seconds, and up to 7 skeletons can exist at the same time. Skeleton minions deal 100% weapon damage with each attack. You have obtained the skill. Evil Explosion. Summon the spirits of up to 5 corpses within 15 meters of the designated area and trigger an explosion, causing 10-50% weapon damage to enemies within 20 meters. Damn it, Lin Hao was shocked. What's going on? After upgrading, the skills awakened by the plugin are all knight skills that charge into battle, but now the skills learned using scrolls are mage skills? It seems that this is possible. Lin Hao was a little excited to acquire so many skills at once. However, there are too many skills, but it is not easy to master. You have to be familiar with them and see which skills you are more comfortable with and can be used frequently. The recently acquired skills have no upgrade display, which is different from the original 4 skills. But one characteristic of these skills is that the damage is calculated according to the damage percentage of the weapon. In other words, the more powerful the weapon you use, the more powerful the skill will be. It was only dawn the next morning, and Lin Hao couldn't wait to climb down the tree, wanting to try his skills on monsters. Now that I am at level 20, I will not upgrade again until I reach the next level. The remaining time is used to experiment with skills and familiarize myself with all the skills. He took out the only 2-handed sword from the storage halo. The blade was as long as his entire leg. It was made of cast iron. The light brain showed it weighed 40 kilograms, had an attack power of 80 to 92, and required a minimum strength of 80 points. But as soon as Lin Hao held the hilt of the sword, the passive skill of Hell's power was immediately activated. He pulled the sword out with one hand, and when he swung it, it felt no different from holding a butcher's knife. Awesome, this is the power of Hell, it's just as easy as lifting a weight. He took out another shield and equipped it. He raised the shield with his left hand and the sword with his right hand. Lin Hao felt like a Spartan. Evil War Horse. A horse with black hair and flames appeared in the void, its eyes flashed with strange fire, and it directly picked up Lin Hao. Sitting on the evil spirit horse, Lin Hao held the reins and thought in his mind. The evil spirit horse immediately galloped in the direction Lin Hao was thinking. The speed was extremely fast. Lin Hao hadn't seen the surrounding situation clearly yet. The spirit warhorse carried him a few kilometers away. There is a large settlement of level 22 lizardmen ahead. It's just a good place to test your skills. Lin Hao rode the evil spirit horse and rushed over at high speed. When he was about to arrive, he jumped up from the evil spirit horse. Sword of heavenly punishment. The whole figure was like a cannonball, leaping in a beautiful arc in the air, and then hit the middle of the lizard man with a bang. The moment it landed, Lin Hao knelt down on one knee, his sword stuck on the ground, and the surrounding thunder shone. The lightning-like power spread quickly, and the lizard men within 15 meters were directly shaken to pieces and died on the spot. When the surrounding lizard men discovered that someone was attacking them, they immediately became furious and rushed over to surround and suppress Lin Hao. Shield slam. Lin Hao raised his shield and activated his skills. He rushed out instantly and hit the lizard man in front with his shield. With a bang, 4 nearby lizard men were knocked away together. 2 of them had their spines broken and exploded. 2 suffered direct internal bleeding and then fell to the ground and died on the spot. Immediately afterwards, the lizard men behind him had rushed to his side. Lin Hao swung his sword and activated the skill Steel Skin to resist all the lizard men's attacks. He also used Flame Slash to slash in all directions and kill the besieging lizard men. The scene was once very bloody. Fortunately, the Flame Slash had the attribute of fire, so the lizard man's wound was scorched and blocked before bleeding too much. Flame Slash plus Steel Skin can always maintain 50% damage reduction, and the anger value will remain at full level with almost no drop. These 2 skills are a perfect match. More and more lizard men were besieging him. Lin Hao felt that although his body's damage had been reduced by 50%, he did not have strong armor defense and would eventually be unable to withstand it. He could only rely on the 1 point per second recovery speed of the evil aura. Dispensable. The corpses of the lizard men were already piling up, just in time to test the next skill. Evil explosion. A strange cyan light was drawn out of the corpses of the 5 lizard men, and then quickly condensed to form a ball of light. It exploded with a bang, and all the lizard men within 20 meters fell down. Lin Hao discovered that evil explosion did not consume anger points. He thought he was wrong when he read the skill introduction last night. The evil explosion consumes the essence in the corpse. Lin Hao himself doesn't know exactly what the essence of the corpse is. Anyway, it is on the corpse. He can clearly feel that there is no such thing in fresh life. It is different from being alive. The attribute of life essence is the opposite. As long as there is still breath, this thing will not appear. The essence of 1 corpse can explode, and the essence of up to 5 corpses can be detonated at the same time. Each essence will cause 10-50% weapon damage when it explodes. Now, the lizard men keep rushing up. Every time the evil explosion explodes, a piece of it will fall down. Then the fallen corpse can extract its essence and continue to explode. This cycle continues. Bang bang bang. Like fireworks, blood and flesh. Broken and fried organs were everywhere. This scene should be disgustingly bloody, but Lin Hao didn't know why. When he was feeling emotionally flustered and wanted to feel sick at first, a green light suddenly appeared out of thin air and covered his head. After the light disappeared, he became very calm, as if the scene in front of him was not bloody at all. Is this forced calm? Is it the effect of a plugin? If it can have this effect in combat, it would be a great plugin. Most of the lizard men were killed by the serial evil explosion, and the remaining ones were frightened and began to flee in all directions. Command the bones. After activating the skill, a skeleton immediately emerged from the ground, holding various weapons and waiting for instructions. Kill all those escaping lizard men. After Lin Hao gave the order to the skeleton immediately rushed out to chase down the lizard men. The movement was extremely fast and the strike was decisive. The skeleton behind them went directly to execute the order without Lin Hao repeating the order. After 12 seconds, all 7 skeletons emerged from the ground and were chasing the lizard people like crazy. Lin Hao could clearly feel the situation of each skeleton, and felt that he could command any of them to do anything with just a thought. The lizard men ran farther and farther, and some had already dived into the water. The distance pursued by the skeletons was beyond Lin Hao's sight, but they were still executing orders. These skeletons are really, I don't know how to put it, they are still chasing after them from such a distance. I'm afraid they won't stop until they kill all the lizard men they see. Lin Hao deliberately let these skeletons continue to chase, wanting to see how big the maximum range of activities was. Finally, after reaching the maximum range of 5,000 meters, a skeleton stopped chasing and returned to Lin Hao. The return speed is extremely fast, there is no need to run back step by step, just return to the land at 5,000 meters, and then come out again next to Lin Hao. Lin Hao was completely unexpected by this, and thought it would take a long time to run back. With a thought, he asked all the other skeletons to come back. Immediately, the other 6 skeletons also returned to the ground, and then emerged next to Lin Hao. If I have this skill earlier, I won't have to work so hard to level up before. Finally, let's try another skill. Death Pact. Lin Hao used Death Pact on the nearest skeleton. A strange black-red light flashed from Lin Hao's hand, and then the whole skeleton seemed to be burned by black flames, and it burned very fast, and the entire skeleton was burned in the blink of an eye. Skeletons, no ashes left. At the same time, Lin Hao's energy and blood instantly recovered, and the wounds, claws, and bites he suffered from the lizard man were immediately healed. 2 seconds later, another skeleton emerged from the ground. Death Pact killed one skeleton to heal itself, and now another skeleton came out. Does this mean that as long as I don't get killed instantly in the future, I can always use the skeleton to restore my energy and blood? However, using Death Pact consumes 50 anger points once, and I can only use it a dozen times in a row at most. Think about it, it is enough for now. I am only level 20. If I can reach this level, I am afraid that the children of those wealthy families may not have this ability. Looking at the bloody scenes around him, Lin Hao put away his equipment, summoned the evil horse, and ran towards the river. Clean up the bloodstains on your body and change your clothes, it's time to go back. It was completely unexpected for Lin Hao to end the leveling in the Neon Zone at least 1 month early. I originally thought it would take at least a month to reach level 20. All I can say is, thank you Zhang Yang, that silly son of a landlord, for the gift. Before leaving, those worthless things were thrown away and burned directly with the flames. Only valuable things such as the animal core, spinal cord, brain, and heart were left behind. As for those weapons and equipment, find some time on the return ship and throw them all into the sea. Lin Hao believed that no matter how powerful the Goldthorn Guild was, it would be impossible to find out who did it unless you had the ability to go back in time and watch the scene unfold. Even if there are, you first have to find where they last appeared before you can use them. He rode the evil spirit horse to a hidden place near the port and stopped. Then he walked to the port, took a rest, and when it was time to change his return ticket at the self-service machine, Lin Hao boarded the flight back to the Magic City. In the cabin room, Lin Hao looked at his panel properties. Strength: 125.6 agility, 69 intelligence, 85.4. Physical fitness: 111.2, strength and physical fitness are completely fine, typical knight growth. Intellectual growth is also good, which shows that the Death Knight is a melee and magic master. But the agility is a bit too low, which directly affects my movement, shooting, and dodge actions. Speed: should we get some agility creation fruits and add agility to it? Lin Hao was thinking that his 4-dimensional development now only has agility and has not kept up, but fortunately he has something astonishing as the creation fruit. You can eat up to 50 before level 20. Each one has a market price of 5 million, so you get 250 million. Lin Hao felt powerless when he thought about asking for so much money. Even if all the loot is sold, there will only be 136 million, which is still 114 million short. Where can I go to grab a fat sheep like Zhang Yang? Forget it, let's not have this thought for the time being. Although I seem strong now, I am actually still very weak. If I get caught, I will be finished. Go back and get rid of everything on your hands first. It was already night when he returned to the port of Shanghai. Lin Hao took a taxi and went home to have a good night's rest. Noon the next day, Lin Hao had lunch after getting up, packed his things, and went to the Superpower Trading Center. This is an intermediary service platform opened by the UED government. It specifically serves people with superpowers. The items bought and sold are all superpowers. Something the person needs. Go to the front desk to register a service request and pay a service fee of 1 million. This time you can enjoy dedicated 1v1 service. 1 million is the only cash Lin Hao currently has on hand, but it is better to use dedicated service. After all, he is trading goods returned from overseas. After waiting in the personal service room for about 10 minutes, a lovely lady opened the door and came in with tea. Hello distinguished guest, I am your service specialist this time, job number 9394, please call me Xiao Na. After Xiaona entered the room, she closed the door and squatted in front of Lin Hao to serve him. Lin Hao looked at Xiaona. She looked sweet, wearing a purple sandal semi-transparent tube top skirt, and her figure was looming. This was a service that could only be enjoyed by paying money. 1 million at a time. I wonder if I can do something? When this idea comes up, normal men will start to make some associations, and Lin Hao is no exception. However, the thought had just begun and the association had not yet appeared. A green light invisible to others and only Lin Hao could see appeared again, covering Lin Hao's entire head from top to bottom, and then disappeared. Lin Hao suddenly became very calm and immediately had no sexual interest in Xiaona, who was sweet, cute, graceful and cooing. Ahem, I have a batch of goods that I want to sell. If the customer has any goods that need to be sold, he can show them to Xiaona and estimate them with a light test. If the items are too valuable and cannot be determined by a light test, Xiaona will ask experts to appraise them. Lin Hao took out a Naga water snake core from the storage halo, as well as a set of storage instruments that collected the essence of the spinal cord, brain marrow, and heart marrow. How much could these sell for? Xiaona put on single-lens optical brain glasses, which were a bit like the combat power detector in Dragon Ball, and then scanned and identified them. Dear guest, the appraisal has been completed. This is a Naga water snake core of around level 40 to 45, with a market value of around 4 to 5 million. And this set of essences also belongs to the same Naga water snake, and the price of a set is worth about 2.5 to 3 million yuan. Dear guest, we have two trading methods. One is to sell to our trading center and complete the transaction directly. The other is to list it for sale according to your request and let other customers purchase it. Our trading center charges 5% handling fee. Lin Hao asked. I have 20 beast cores and 12 sets of essences. They are sold in packages. At what price will the trading center buy them? Xiaona quickly got the price from the optical computer, and then reported it to Lin Hao. Dear guests, all packaged is 100 million. Lin Hao thought for a moment, and according to the estimate from the Thorn Gold Guild that he heard that night, it was 136 million, and the trading center only gave 100 million. Looks like it needs to be put up for sale. The beast cores are packaged and sold for 100 million, and these essences are sold for 36 million. Help me list them. Okay, distinguished guest, please wait a moment. I will upload the information to the trading center now. Do you want to be anonymous? Anonymous. Soon, Xiaona completed the operation and helped Lin Hao put up the items and prices. Lin Hao thought that it might not be that fast, he should go home and wait for the news. After the transaction is completed, the funds after deducting the handling fee will be directly transferred to his account. Then when I have money, I can buy other things. Now I have more time. Just as she was about to get up and leave, Xiaona suddenly said, Guest, someone is interested in buying. They are applying for a transaction and the payment is in progress. So fast? Are these two things so popular? Lin Hao asked casually. What do others usually buy my two goods for? Xiaona replied, Dear guest, the Naga water snake core of level 40 to 45 can be used to make primary skill scrolls of directional water skills. One beast core can probably successfully make 2 to 3 scrolls, but it is very precious. And its essence is the additive for making various props. For example, waterproof equipment is one of the best additives and is very popular. Oh, like this? This was the first time Lin Hao heard that it turned out that he could make attribute skill scrolls in a targeted manner. Previously, I only learned from school that the core material for making skill scrolls is beast core, but the specific production process requires in-depth study of force technology. Soon, the transaction was completed and Lin Hao received 129.2 million. Suddenly I have money. What should I buy? Arms? Equipment? No, it's better to buy the fruit of creation. Does the trading floor have creative fruits with agility attributes? Yes, 5 million each. Give me 4. Okay, please wait a moment. Lin Hao showed the bank halo and Xiaona used her brain to deduct 20 million. Soon a robot sent 4 creation fruits with agility attributes. Opening the box, there were 4 yellow fruits inside, as big as a 10-year-old girl's fist, with soft spines all over their bodies. Eat it when you get home. Cover the box, put it in the storage halo, get up and leave. Xiaona looked at Lin Hao with a mysterious look on her face and just left like that? Don't do something, or ask me what time I will get off work and have dinner tonight. Just leave like that. I've pulled my collar down so low, why don't I give you a tip? When Lin Hao returned home, he immediately took out the fruit of creation. I have plugins and each one must have 3 attributes, so I can just swallow them with my mouth open. Tasteless? No, it has a bit of a taste. Sour? No, it has a bit of sweetness. Grape flavor? Not like that. Apple? Not quite. Anyway, it's weird, there's a lot of juice, but it's very sticky and you have to swallow it all. There is a bit of a bitter feeling at the end. When you eat the creation fruit, you will feel nothing except the previous taste. Opening the attribute panel, agility has not changed at all, it is still 69. Do you have to wait a while? I just ate it, but it wasn't even in my stomach yet. Maybe it will have an effect after it has been digested. Just wait. The school did not teach how to eat the creation fruit at all. It just said that there is such a thing. What effects will it have if eaten, and what will affect these effects? Unknowingly, Lin Hao fell asleep while waiting boredly. When he woke up, it was already 3 p.m. Open the properties panel, still no change. Are my qualifications so poor? Didn't your attributes increase at all after eating the creation fruit? Check the information quickly. Well, the textbook says that as long as the creative fruit has not been eaten the full number of times, even in the worst case, each fruit can gain a minimum of 1 point of attribute growth. No matter how bad your qualifications are, it's still a guarantee. So what happened to me? Is it the wrong way to eat? Hurry up and go online to see how to eat the fruit of creation. Should it be eaten cooked, peeled and sliced, or eaten raw? There are a lot of people on the internet teaching how to eat, and there are videos of all kinds. No matter how unreliable it seems, I always feel that these internet celebrities are deceiving people. But who can I ask for advice? Laoban, forget it, I don't want to ask him this kind of question. When the time comes that he asks himself where the fruit of creation comes from, he has to say it's just a random question. Lin Hao turned on his optical brain and looked around at his contacts. There were not many people he could contact, and his interpersonal relationships were extremely poor. The only one who can help me is my elder sister Lin Yarong. I don't know if she is in class or on a mission. Send her a message first. Lin Hao compiled the message and sent it over, waiting for the elder sister to reply to him when she was free. I thought it would take a long time to receive the message, but I didn't expect that after only 5 minutes, I replied. Wash it clean and swallow it directly? After seeing his sister's reply, Lin Hao doubted his life. Suddenly, a possibility came to mind. You cannot gain any attributes by eating the fruits of creation. The power of death is incompatible with these fruits that are rich in the power of creation or life. If that's the case, wouldn't it mean that I spent 5 million and tasted something sour, sweet and a little bitter? This is worse than being taken advantage of. Looking at the 3 creation fruits left in the box, I felt the urge to throw them away. Forget it, take it to the trading hall and sell it in 2 days. Stop losses promptly. At this time, the phone rang. Lin Hao saw that it was his sister and quickly answered it. Hey, brother. Why do you suddenly ask about the creation fruit? Ah, no, I just suddenly thought that the school didn't seem to teach how to eat. What if I pick one up? Don't think about those things that are not available. You have to wait until you go to college to eat the creation fruits after being guided by your instructor. Even if you can really pick one up now, don't eat it. Shouldn't you be leveling up in the neon hunting area now? The map I gave you with weapons and cloaks, it's enough for you to reach level 20 within a month. I've marked the spots for you to spawn monsters. Have you taken a good look? Sister, I'm working hard. Just don't run around. I've personally inspected this route. There shouldn't be any problems. But just in case, if you encounter any danger, the cloak my sister gave you can make you invisible and speed up your escape. Do you know? Escape immediately? I know. Anyway, if there is any trouble, I will run away as soon as possible. Yes. Although sister is worried, you have to inherit your father's knight title after all. You have to go out on your own and grow up. You must pay attention to safety, you know. Sister has prepared weapons and equipment for you to use for the exam. Next someone will send it to you in a month. I have a mission and I can't get away. I can't go back before summer vacation. Sister, you should pay attention to your safety. I will handle it carefully. Well, remember to pay attention to your safety. I'm going to be busy. I'll hang up now. After Lin Yarong hung up the phone, she turned around and said to everyone around her, Okay, I'm done with the call. Now quickly pack up these ugly things, rush to the next mission location, and pick up the target. Yes, Captain. Lin Yarong drew out her sword, her eyes shining with red light. She took the lead and rushed into the pile of monsters. In an instant, her skills exploded, and monster heads flew up one after another like gods and ghosts dancing wildly. The surrounding team members also raised their weapons to kill the monster. After hanging up the phone, Lin Hao felt very comfortable. Having a sister like this is not much different from my biological mother. I took another look at the 3 fruits of creation in my hand and thought, oh, sell them. The more I looked at them, the more I wanted to crush them. Not having to eat the fruit of creation, I virtually saved 250 million, which can be considered a surprise. At least you don't have to think about how to make money before the college entrance examination. I still have 100 million available funds on hand. What should I do? The weapons and equipment have been prepared for me and will be delivered next month. Then the only thing that can increase your strength is the skill scroll. No one can have too many skills. As the saying goes, having too many skills is not too much. You don't have to use it, but you can't live without it. A skill may languish in your skill bar for a long time, but under certain special circumstances, it can play a huge role. Take a look at your skill bar. When you scroll down, there are hundreds of blank boxes. It feels like you can swipe them casually. Anyway, even if you learn a rubbish skill that occupies the skill bar and leads to insufficient space, there is still a forgetting scroll that can be used, and you can specify a certain skill to be forgotten. I have decided to buy some skill scrolls and see what skills I can learn. Lin Hao didn't wait for tomorrow. It was only afternoon now and it was still early. He changed clothes and went to the trading floor. It's better to find Xiao Na's service. Xiao Na heard that the customer from the morning was back again and asked her to serve. She quickly put on her makeup before going over. It has to be said that after Xiao Na touched up her makeup, she deliberately decorated it to become more charming. However, the moment Lin Hao had any thoughts, he was once again forced to calm down by the green light. Forget it. He immediately took away the 3 fruits of creation. Come out and put it on the table. Return it, don't want it anymore. Are you looking for trouble with your feelings? I just bought it this morning, now I want to return it? It seems that eating one only increased the attribute by 1 point, which made me angry. When Lin Hao saw Xiao Na didn't reply, he said, I found that I don't need this thing anymore. How much do you recycle it for? Dear guest, our trading center can recycle 4 million creation fruits. Damn it, why don't you go and grab it? I turned my hand around and didn't even make a move, devaluing it by 1 million. Put it up for sale for me, 4.8 million apiece. Okay, please wait a moment. Not long after, all 3 fruits of creation were sold, with a loss of 6.32 million from 20 million and a recovery of 13.68 million. Lin Hao was heartbroken. This was a lesson learned in blood. Does the guest need anything else? How much does a primary skill scroll cost? There are 10 million scrolls for directional skills and 4 million scrolls for random skills. Lin Hao remembered that the previous plugin seemed to have prompted that only death-related skills could be obtained. Random skill scrolls, here are 10. Skill scrolls are so popular that they are instantly killed almost as soon as they appear in the listing hall, so they can only be purchased directly from the official website. After Xiao Na deducted Lin Hao's money, the robot sent 10 skill scrolls. Lin Hao picked up the skill scroll and put it into the storage halo and left. Xiao Na had a question mark on her face. Spend another 1 million in service fees just to sell 3 creation fruits and buy 10 skill scrolls? Don't you even look at me? Lin Hao took 10 skill scrolls and hurried home to use them all tonight. He took out a needle and pricked his finger. Blood dripped on the first skill scroll. The light flashed but quickly disappeared. Nothing happened. No way? No response again? Quickly open the skill bar and take a look. There are indeed no new skills? Just when Lin Hao was about to get angry, the plugin popped up a dialog box. Failed to acquire skills. Existing random scroll skill level +1. Take a quick look. Lin Hao discovered that the words, 1/10, appeared after the skill name of Evil Explosion, which meant that Evil Explosion could be upgraded. Quickly click on Evil Explosion to take a look. Evil Explosion, 1/10. Summon the spirits of up to 5 corpses within 16 meters of the designated area and trigger an explosion, causing 1200% weapon damage to enemies within 22 meters. The range was increased by 1 meter each, and the damage was increased by 150%. Good. The Evil Explosion technique can be said to be the most effective method for group killing. As long as there are enough corpses on the ground, they can be exploded until the end of time. Continue. Lin Hao spent all the remaining 9 skill scrolls at once. You have acquired the skill, Aging, a disabling curse that reduces the enemy's movement speed by 75% and reduces all abilities, attributes, and body functions by 30% for 30 seconds. Close black lens bracket. Got a new skill. This time it's a curse skill. All abilities and physical skills are reduced by 30%. If 2 people were originally about the same attribute strength, but were cursed, the difference would be 30%, and they would be able to judge the difference. This skill is awesome. Of the remaining 8 skill rolls, 3 have been upgraded to Evil Explosion and 5 have been upgraded to Command Skeleton. Lin Hao took a look. Evil Explosion, 4/10. Summon the spirits of up to 5 corpses within 19 meters of the designated area and trigger an explosion, causing 50% weapon damage to enemies within 28 meters. Command Skeleton, 5/10. Resurrection of a skeleton from the ground every 2 seconds, up to 17 skeletons can exist at the same time. Skeleton minions deal 150% weapon damage with each attack. The 2 skills have made a quantum leap. There can be 17 skeletons, and the range and damage of the Evil Explosion have been greatly improved. This time, I am even more powerful. Lin Hao felt that even if he was a member of a wealthy family like Li Yunqi, he might not be incapable of fighting. Or, those people are nothing to him now. With this thought, Lin Hao felt that he was already a little swollen. This night, Lin Hao slept very soundly. There are still 2 months until the college entrance examination starts. During this period, Lin Hao often goes to the training hall for superpowers to do some physical skills training, and then buys more supplements and the like to replenish his body. He still feels a little thin, and his waistline is like little girls are only 21 inches, so embarrassing. The next day, Lin Hao got up early, washed up, had breakfast, and prepared to go to the training hall. Physical functions must be trained, which are related to one's reactions, speed, and various combat movements. The conditions and reflexes engraved into the muscles cannot be compensated by attribute points. Therefore, some people whose attributes are not high, but whose ability to dodge is extremely powerful, have a higher chance of survival in a war than those who have never trained but have higher attribute levels than them. Lin Hao thinks this way. Even if he can summon countless armies of the undead in the future, if his combat ability is poor, once a master breaks through in front of him, no matter how large or powerful the army is, he will not be able to protect himself. Only when you are strong can you be truly strong. The summons are just the icing on the cake. When preparing to go out, Lin Hao received a call from his head teacher, asking Lin Hao to take time to go back to school to find him in the next 2 days. Lin Hao thought to himself, could it be that the Thorn Gold Guild found the school? He shook his head, probably not. If the Thorn Gold Guild really found out something was wrong, it would only make a big fuss. I don't know what Laoban wants to say. I'll find out if I go take a look this afternoon. In the afternoon, Lin Hao returned to school and found his class teacher. Here you go. Close the door and sit down. The head teacher asked Lin Hao to close the door and wanted to chat with him alone. After closing the door, Lin Hao sat in front of the class teacher and asked, "Old class teacher, what do you want to see me for?" The head teacher took out a form from the drawer, handed it to Lin Hao and said, "This is the application form for the literary test. You can take a look." Literary examination application form? I didn't want to apply for the essay test. The head teacher said, "Lin Hao, the teacher is really heartbroken about your accident during the awakening ceremony. It would be great if you could inherit your father's SSR ability." "Oh, what a pity." The teacher doesn't know what to say. You ran home in anger, but the teacher didn't have time to tell you. In fact, we not only take the martial arts test, but also the liberal arts test, and we have a bright future. It turns out that Laoban is really serious. Lin Hao remembered that over the years, his head teacher had not discriminated against him because of his illness. Every time he complained to him that he was being bullied, he would criticize those people. It's just that he can't completely prevent those bullying incidents. After all, this school is not an ordinary school, but a real aristocratic school. The students are almost all children of the rich, and they are not afraid of the teachers and so on. Now, Laoban thinks that his awakening has failed, but he still has not given up on himself. He also tells himself that in addition to the martial arts exam, there is also the literary exam. Life is not over yet, and he must continue to look forward. Seeing that Lin Hao didn't speak, the head teacher continued. "Lin Hao, don't think that the future of liberal arts universities is necessarily worse than that of martial arts universities. If you are willing to check the information, you will find that liberal arts universities are not inferior to martial arts universities at all. We the government, many senior officials in UED were born in the liberal arts exam, and those respected scientists are also the best in the liberal arts exam." Lin Hao asked, "Old Ban, to be honest, the history books tell us that since the old rulers emerged from the dimensional passage, society has collapsed, and the rules and order have been shuffled several times. Although the books did not say that, but we all know that the UED is not a kind and caring government. They are a real extreme armed government, with the goal of taking back the world by force, and they want to launch an invasion across the dimensional channel. In this case, when how really can you gain respect from others and have a higher social status in society? The class teacher pushed up his glasses and his eyes became serious. Lin Hao, do you know who developed the creation fruit? They are the 4 major liberal arts universities. They separately developed 4 creation fruits with different attributes, and then registered copyrights and patents. As long as you buy the creation fruit, you have to pay them. Students from liberal arts colleges have learned how to make creation fruits in school, and they can make and sell them themselves, as long as they pay the school a copy fee. Do you know how many students from martial arts university want to be able to? If you can buy the fruits of creation at a cheaper price, you won't be able to curry favor with people from liberal arts universities. Lin Hao was shocked. It was the first time he heard about this. The creative fruit of love is like the alchemy of immortality. As long as you learn it, you can practice it at will. Material, of course someone will give it to you. The head teacher added. Who do you think invented those skill scrolls? Who owns the copyright? Also, don't think that people from the Liberal Arts Institute have no fighting power. The unique force equipment of the Liberal Arts Institute can be used to fight monsters when you go out. It uses an optical brain-controlled floating force laser gun, a force kinetic energy cannon in the left hand, and a force gatling in the right hand. Even if it is worn by ordinary people, the monster spawning efficiency is not inferior to that of B-level superpowers. Do you really think liberal arts are weak? Lin Hao was shocked again. Force equipment, he had forgotten such a thing. What made him selectively forget it? Who is it? Who is it? UED was able to regain a large amount of territory from countless monsters and securely defend these territories. Half of the reason was due to the superpowers, and half of the credit was the force equipment driven by these force technologies. Finally, the head teacher said, if you don't have S-level powers, you may not develop better in martial arts than in liberal arts. Those below S-level are just cannon fodder after all. Lin Hao swallowed. Fortunately, he came here to listen to his last class. Learned. When Lin Hao came back from school, he held the application form for the literary test in his hand. Lying on the sofa, looking at the application form, there are more and more things on my mind. Before coming to this world, Lin Hao was also a lover of well-read books. Once the male and female protagonists traveled through time, they didn't need to care about how talented or poor they were before. Whether it was the college entrance examination or the sect examination, just shout, "My destiny is mine. I can't help it, just fight hard all the way. Anyway, I have the plug-in in the world. I can abuse the food all the way and pretend to be cool, and start a flying life." Originally, Lin Hao thought that he had survived that period of time, but once he woke up, holding the plug-in in his hand, he was blaming the sky and the earth, and he was the show of Diwa, the son of the plane. Now I suddenly realize that reality is not like this. If I really awakened the holy light night power of SSR and inherited my father's profession and power under the witness of the supervisory committee, then if I get good grades in the martial arts exam, some people will think it is normal, and even some big shots will think it is normal, or some forces invest in themselves. However, now everyone has witnessed the death of the holy light knight in the vision, and the instrument has not detected that he has awakened any powers. Now that he tells others that he has awakened the power of death, do you think others will believe it? For hundreds of years, this kind of power has never appeared. Almost all the skills on his body are full of evil, ominous, and weird atmosphere. In any minute, he will be regarded as a heretic, or he will be thought to be possessed by the old ruler. What will happen? I really can't imagine. The power of death is really weird. Resurrecting a corpse, being invincible and unselectable before disappearing, and skeletons appearing out of thin air are characteristics that only the old ones may have. Take the liberal arts exam first, then hide and develop slowly. Liberal arts may not develop slower than martial arts. When you have grown up, you may even be a high-ranking person in UED. This was what Lin Hao concluded after listening to the head teacher's words. The idea of taking the literary test was due to a problem that suddenly occurred to Lin Hao on the way back, and the problem was very serious. What conditions do you need to advance after level 20, and what materials do you need to complete the advancement? If I couldn't know the conditions and materials, wouldn't I just stay at level 20? The liberal arts school has one advantage that is very attractive to Lin Hao. At present, most of the conditions and material requirements for the promotion of superpowers at the 3 levels of 20, 40, 60ths are researched by them. The promotion of level 80 it requires dedicated research, and even if you have bad luck, you won't be able to break through it for more than 10 years. Even many advancement materials need to be processed before they can be used. The processing methods are only available in the College of Liberal Arts. You ask why there are no processing methods in martial arts colleges? Regarding the issue of technical specialization, the Martial Arts Academy learns how to fight, how to optimize skills, how to combine skills, and how to deal higher damage with skills. A group of muscular guys, they don't want to do things like scientists, they just want to have fun killing monsters and leveling up PK. A liberal arts university, to put it simply, is a scientific research base. Lin Hao checked the information of the 4 major liberal arts universities online. They have a large number of subjects, and they often go out to collect samples of various monsters, plants, and minerals for research. They have all kinds of force technologies that you can't imagine, but they can't do it without them. Lin Hao was thinking that his power of death could not be exposed for the time being, because he didn't know how the world viewed this strange power of death. The shadow of the old rulers in people's hearts was huge. If you are in a liberal arts college, help yourself study how to advance, so that you can hide the power of death most effectively. As for leveling up, if you just join the research on any topic, go out and collect samples as an excuse, run out every day, are you still afraid that you won't be able to level up? I don't need to use the fruit of creation, nor do I need a martial arts instructor to guide me on how to add points. No matter how you use the skill scroll, you can either obtain undead skills or upgrade undead skills. There is no need for guidance on matching skills of different types. Lin Hao checked the information and found that the skills that others randomly learned using skill scrolls were all kinds of strange, and almost everyone needed the guidance of a mentor. From this point of view, the Academy of Martial Arts does not seem to be that attractive to me. In this case, why should I take the Martial Arts Academy? I want to apply for liberal arts. Immediately, Lin Hao filled out the application form and went back to school early the next morning to find his class teacher. The class teacher was relieved to see Lin Hao fill out the liberal arts application form so quickly. The most worry-free thing about your child is that you don't get into trouble, and you listen carefully to other people's opinions and consider them seriously. Lin Hao said, "Old Ban, I have seriously considered it. Please help me estimate. If I want to enter the 4 major liberal arts universities, can I get in?" The class teacher adjusted his glasses and said, "It's just a little bit close, Lin Hao, just a little bit worse. Maybe you will pass the exam directly if you perform extraordinarily well, but 9 times out of 10 you will not be satisfied in life, so consider maximizing the gap. You may have 70 points difference. It would be troublesome to be admitted to the 4 major liberal arts colleges with a 70-point difference." Lin Hao thought it would be meaningless if he could not be admitted to the 4 major liberal arts colleges. Olao Ban, is there any policy for extra points? For example, if your parents are war heroes, etc.? I have already considered it for you, and there is still 70 points left. There are many policies for bonus points, such as bonus points for discovering new monsters and obtaining samples, or bonus points for discovering new potion formulas, or improving equipment, etc. There are many. Here there is a bonus point policy table, please take a look. The head teacher took out a form from the bookshelf and handed it to Lin Hao. Lin Hao looked carefully and saw that there were many bonus point policies, but none of them suited him. Those were specially prepared for the powerful and aristocratic families. There is only one last item. If liberal arts candidates also take the martial arts exam of the same session and get a certain ranking, they will get a lot of extra points. For example, the top 1,000 people in the city will get 50 extra points, and the top 500 people in the city will get 80 extra points. As for the top 10, there is no list of how many points will be added. If you can really get the top 10 martial arts test results in the city, maybe the Martial Arts Academy will come to grab people. This is the beginning. Old class, then I'll just take another martial arts exam. Lin Hao returned the policy form to the class teacher. Huh? Did I hear you correctly? Are you going to take the martial arts exam again? Take the civil and military exams together? The head teacher wanted to make sure he heard correctly. Lin Hao said, "Old Ban, actually I inherited something from my dad that day, maybe a knight's physique or something. You see, my body is much stronger now than before, and I have also awakened some basic combat skills. I want to give it a try and turn my bicycle into a motorcycle." The head teacher thought for a while and said, "That's okay. I heard that your sister is now well known in the university circle. Remember to ask your sister to get some decent equipment. In addition, I will help you get some strings. When forming a team, I will help you find a teammate who has a chance to be the top pick, so that the scores will be easier to mix." The head teacher then told Lin Hao that this year's exam has been reformed. The Nephilim obelisk will be used to allow everyone to enter the secret realm for assessment. The assessment method has been determined. It is a 5-person team cooperative clearance mode. According to the output and commitment of the team, injury, treatment and other data determine the final score. This is the fairest way, because the Nephilim obelisk is an artifact given to the human race by God. No matter how powerful the power is, no matter what technological power is used, the human race cannot control the Nephilim obelisk to engage in various cheating. Now that wars are becoming more and more frequent, fighting alone is no longer the mainstream. The tactical theory of the combat group has been unanimously approved by the UED Supreme Council, and the 55 system tactic has been officially put into use. Lin Hao thought to himself, this is Ness. Lin Hao was a little confused at first as to why Lao Ban could help him find teammates. When he returned home, Lao Ban gave him a photo. It was a photo of Lao Ban with some friends when he was young. Lin Hao's parents were also in it. Lao Ban looked at his mother a little. I see. Then there is no need to think so much. Lin Hao began to make plans for the final sprint. Adjust your previous plan and review liberal arts in the morning. Your mind will be clearer when you study in the morning, so you can get twice the result with half the effort. After taking a break at noon, I went to the training center to train in the afternoon. After dinner in the evening, I took a walk and went home to continue reviewing liberal arts. The liberal arts in this world do not test mathematics, physics and chemistry, but the most basic knowledge of force technology. The most basic knowledge of these force technologies is different from the mathematics, physics and chemistry of the previous life. It is equivalent to relearning the technology of another system. This is also the reason why Lin Hao studied hard but still couldn't get into the 4 universities. Fortunately, Lin Hao had been ill for so many years and could hardly go out to play. He could only read and study at home, and he could still keep up with liberal arts. The days of preparing for exams are like washing clothes in the dark. You don't know if they are clean, so you can only wash them over and over again. When you walk into the examination room and the lights turn on, you will find that as long as you wash it carefully, the clothes will be as bright as new. Lin Hao, who was preparing for the exams seriously, completely forgot about the passage of time. Every day was so fulfilling, boring. It wasn't until half a month before the exam that the equipment sent by my sister arrived that Lin Hao remembered that such a thing had happened. The elder sister asked someone to deliver 4 pieces of equipment, including a sword, a shield, a leather armor, and a pair of boots. Lin Hao took out all the equipment and used his optical brain to identify the attributes one by one. Open black lens bracket disconnection, close black lens bracket quality, legendary one-handed sword. Level 20 attack 61.2 to 75.3 increases damage done to elite enemies by 6%. Damage dealt to demons increased by 10%, 27% chance to cause bleed effect within 5 seconds, causing 300% weapon damage. Legendary special effects. Leaving enemies dead without any corpses. Damn, this is outrageous. The sword is a good sword, but what kind of special effect is it to make the enemy die without any body parts? This sword Tianke controls corpses and evil explosions. Do you want to tell me that you have awakened the power of death? My sister still thinks that she must inherit her father's holy light knight abilities. Let's look at the other 3 pieces of equipment. Open black lens bracket gothic shield, close black lens bracket quality. Legendary shield level, 20. Defense. 200 to 223 physical fitness plus 36 legendary effect. You take 45% less damage from blocked attacks. This is good. The defense is relatively outstanding among level 20 shields. It also adds 36 points of physical fitness. When the block is successful, if there is an impact aftershock from the attack, the damage will be reduced by 45%. Open black lens bracket heart of steel armor, close black lens bracket quality, legendary armor. Level 20 defense, 138 to 167 physical fitness plus 55. Damage taken from melee attacks reduced by 4%, damage taken from ranged attacks reduced by 4%. Legendary special effect. Obtain reflected damage equivalent to 250% of physical strength. This armor is very nice. It is a reverse armor, very comfortable to wear, and it reflects damage according to 250% of the physical strength. The front shield and the armor together, plus the original physical strength, now have 202.2 physical attribute points. Reflecting it will cause 505.5 damage, which is very unfriendly to low-level monsters. It will hit you 1 point of damage and reflect 505.5 damage. Combined with steel skin and flame slash, you can defeat any monsters below level 20 and up to and including level 20. It's a pity that there is no way to restore blood, so if you add Death Pact and Command Bones, you can last forever. Open black lens bracket contempt boots close black lens bracket quality. Legendary boots level, 20. Speed. Plus 20% agility plus 14 legendary special effect. 400 per second health recovery can be obtained when standing still. Damn it, I just said there is no recovery method, now I'm going to buy a pair of stand-up shoes. It seems that I have chosen the equipment for myself in a very targeted way. Although I don't know what my specific health is now, neither the plugin nor the optical brain displays it, but according to my own estimation and comparing the monsters I have encountered so far, if I digitize my health, it will be around 6,875, and just a little more. In other words, your health will be fully restored in about 17 seconds. With the death contract in the command skeleton, there is absolutely no possibility of any casualties in the college entrance examination. Maybe the college entrance examination is over, but my blood is still full. All 4 pieces are top quality. I don't know how much I spent on them. Out of curiosity, Lin Hao searched online and found out the prices of equipment with similar attributes. It's okay if you don't look at it, but you'll be shocked when you look at it. 4 pieces of equipment cost an average of 250 million each, and they are priceless and have no market. These attributes basically need to be customized. After the creation is completed, the runes must be carved by a rune master to have special effects. The most important thing is the legendary equipment whose level is limited to level 20, which is the most suitable equipment for the college entrance examination. The average candidate can hold 5 million worth of equipment and is already envied by most of his classmates. Wearing 1 billion equipment to take the exam, it feels a bit like bullying. No wonder Lao Ban said that my sister is already well known in the college circle. To get these 4 pieces of equipment, you don't have to be rich. Now, Lin Hao is more confident. There are only 15 days left, there is nothing to worry about, just sprint. June 15th, the college entrance examination has officially begun, and it is a tense day for parents and young people all over the world. The first is the liberal arts exam, which lasts for 5 consecutive days, with 2 subjects tested every day, for a total of 10 subjects. Those who have not awakened their superpowers, or whose awakened superpowers are at level F or E, or whose superpowers are almost useless in combat, all have to take the liberal arts exam, which will determine their lives. In the past, Lin Hao thought that this sentence was wrong. The college entrance examination was just a very important exam, but it could not determine a person's lifelong development. But it's different in this world. If you fail to pass the exam, you are destined to be at the bottom of society, with no possibility of taking a small step upwards. The class gap is wider than imagined. Without superpowers or scientific knowledge of the Force, you can only rely on cleverness and hard work. It is difficult for you to even move, let alone stand up. The only opportunity that everyone is born with is also the only kindness of the UED government. Anyone can receive 12 years of compulsory education for free. And this opportunity broke out in the college entrance examination. If you seize it, you will soar into the sky. If you cannot seize it, you can only pin everything on the next generation. Of course, Lin Hao was not affected by the tense and serious atmosphere in the examination room at all. With the support of the martial arts test, Lin Hao felt extremely relaxed during the literary test and could answer the test questions easily. I guess this time I performed beyond my level. During the exam, Lin Hao discovered something. Many young men and ladies from aristocratic families who had awakened high-level powers in Demon City No. 1 also went to take the literary exam, including Li Yunqi. Lin Hao went to Lao Ban specifically to ask. Lao Ban told Lin Hao that those young masters and ladies from aristocratic families pay attention to the ultimate pursuit, and what they want is the No. 1 scholar in both civil and military affairs. This is the difference between aristocratic families and ordinary families. June 21st, the literary test ended yesterday. Without a day's rest, the martial arts test will be held today. The martial arts exam does not need to gather students somewhere to take the exam. All candidates can return to their own schools. This exam uses the artifact Nephilim obelisk, which can transport all students from all schools into the secret realm of Nephilim, and separated hundreds of thousands of different Nephilim secret realms for assessment. Dear students, today is one of the most important days in your lives. Your awakened powers are for all mankind, for the UED government, for your family, and for yourself. Today, you are the one who uses all your strength to prove to for everyone to see, you are the strongest. In the auditorium, the principal simply said a few words to encourage everyone. Now, data collectors are distributed to each class. Everyone takes their own data collector. After being transported into the Nephilim obelisk, all monitoring methods are unavailable. The data collector can only be used to collect your data. to calculate your college entrance examination scores. The head teacher of each class distributes data collectors to students one by one. The data collectors cannot be exchanged, otherwise the data recorded will be other people's data, but your own name. It's a good thing if others get better grades than you, but on the other hand, you're out of luck. The data collector only needs to be placed in front of your chest, and it will collect all combat data when you kill monsters, including treatment statistics, injury statistics, damage per second statistics, total output statistics, etc. After the head teacher distributed all the data collectors, he discovered that Zhang Yang was not there. The people who were closest to Zhang Yang shook their heads. Zhang Yang seemed to have disappeared from the world. He had not contacted anyone, and no one could contact him. Only then did Lin Hao remember that he had forgotten about Zhang Yang. No, the president of the Thorn Gold Guild has lost his son, wouldn't he investigate? It feels so peaceful. The head teacher tried to contact the president of the Thorn Gold Guild, but was also unable to contact him, and then ignored him. What could he say if parents didn't pay attention to such an important exam? Next is the arrangement of team formation. Mudu No. 1 Middle School will arrange teams for each student based on the student's wishes in advance, and then the school's teaching office will coordinate. Lin Hao didn't know which team he was assigned to. The head teacher asked him to just stand there and wait, and the team leader would come find him. After waiting for a long time, the teleportation gates of the Nephilim obelisk have been opened. The team that has gathered its members early has registered and started teleporting into the secret realm of the Nephilim obelisk. Captain won't forget me, right? Lin Hao was muttering whether he should go to Lao Ban and ask who the captain was. Just go and find him. Are you Lin Hao? A voice came from behind. Lin Hao quickly turned around. Huh? Li Yunqi? You are Lin Hao, right? Come here, you are assigned to my team. After Li Yunqi finished speaking, she turned around and went to the location near the teleportation gate. There were already 3 people waiting there. Lin Hao turned his head and glanced at Lao Ban, who happened to also look over, then gave him a thumbs up and shouted, "Come on." Lin Hao wanted to say to Lao Ban, "You are so naughty." When Gua Ban arranged the team, he still arranged for Li Yunqi, who has 3 sulfur monosulfide level powers, to be the captain of the team. Hurry up, we'll be going in soon. Li Yunqi urged her from a distance, her voice very cold. Coming. Lin Hao quickly followed. Li Yunqi came to where the 3 people were and introduced. This is the last member of our team, Lin Hao from class 3. His special ability is, he seems to have a better physique. Please introduce yourselves to me, go check in. After Li Yunqi left, one of the fat guys looked at Lin Hao and laughed. Hey, isn't this the famous Dead Knight? Lin Hao's face suddenly darkened. Doesn't this guy know what politeness is? The girl among the 3 people said, Don't be like this. How can you be better if you laugh at others? They are all serving as a foil for Li Yunqi. They are just mixed. You know how much you weigh. Lin Hao, hello, my name is Wang Siki. I will take good care of you. Even if you get mixed scores, you should at least have decent equipment so as not to hold you back, right? As far as I know, the situation at home of this dead knight is not that bad. The tall and thin guy at the end said with disdain. Lin Hao asked, What kind of equipment is needed so that I won't be held back? The fat man immediately took out the equipment from the storage bracelet and put it on, including a silver plate armor, a double-edged broadaxe, a knight's buckler, shoulder pads, belt, steel boots, knee pads, and even a helmet, and display the attributes of the whole body equipment through the optical brain. My set, 298 million, has specialized defense. Even if there are 10 level 20 monsters attacking me, I can push them forward. Oh, awesome. Lin Hao applauded. The tall and lanky man also took out the equipment. This was a more expensive archer suit with a total value of 400 million. The rune master carved the suit runes with suit attributes. Wow, it's a level 20 suit, but it's a pity that it doesn't reach legendary quality. Lin Hao applauded again. You've never seen equipment with set attributes, right? Poor people are poor. A word of wow reveals your knowledge. The tall and thin man said proudly, while looking at Wang Siki. Wang Siki also took out the equipment. It was a priest suit, with specialized weapons and jewelry. All of them had special effects of reducing CD, accelerating magic regeneration, and increasing milk supply. For defense, there was only one soft snakeskin armor, and the shoes were also soft snakeskin boots. Lin Hao immediately understood that Wang Siki had awakened the special elemental light healing ability. She was probably the only one in the team who was not here to mix points, and it would have a certain effect on Li Yunqi. How about it? Don't tell us that you just took the fruit knife at home and wanted to mix points. Li Yunqi wants to be the #1 pick. If you want to mix points, you must at least have decent equipment, otherwise don't blame us for voting to kick you out of the team. One fat and one thin stood in the way of Lin Hao. The meaning was very clear. He just wanted to mix it up with his bare hands, but there was no way. Poor people are not welcome here. Hey, Lin Hao thought, why does such a person have to exist? No wonder others always attack him all the way. He took out Duanli from the storage halo, stuck a sword on the ground, then took out the contempt boots and put them on, then put on the heart of steel armor, and finally took out the gothic shield and equipped it on his left hand. He pulled the sword out from the ground and said, "These 4 pieces of mine are not just a suit, they are just special effects equipment of level 20 legendary quality. The average price is 250 million per piece. They are priceless in the market." When Wang Siki saw that attribute, it was a bit outrageous. The eyes of the fat one and the thin one widened. How is that possible? How can your family afford this equipment? Where did you steal it from? Lin Hao clicked his tongue and shook his head, saying, "Strength limits your vision. This cannot be made up for by having 2 bad guys. You need a lot of money." You, one fat and one thin, wanted to rush forward and hit someone. "Get ready to come in. What are you doing?" Li Yunqi's queen-like voice came over. She was fat and thin, and she immediately turned around and complained. "Miss Li, this guy Lin Hao stole a set of 1 billion equipment from somewhere and showed it off." Li Yunqi took a look at Lin Hao's equipment, and then said, "Don't you know who his sister is?" One fat and one thin asked, "Ah, who is his sister?" "Ha," Li Yunqi shook her head. She was not an upstart on the same level. It was useless to talk too much and she could not understand. "Follow me, our team is entering." Li Yunqi led the team, one fat and one thin followed closely behind her, followed by Lin Hao and Wang Siki. Wang Siki secretly asked Lin Hao in a low voice, "Is your sister a great god?" Lin Hao followed the team into the teleportation gate. A flash of light flashed through, and he felt as if he had traveled through countless distances. Just for a moment, I could see again that the entire team had appeared in a strange space. This space is not large, and there is a sharp obelisk in the middle with complex black and white runes flowing on it. No need to guess, that is the projection of the Nephilim obelisk. It has shrunk many times and is now only 2 meters high. Li Yunqi came to the Nephilim obelisk and looked at the time. There were still 20 minutes left before the official assessment would begin. "Now let me explain why you joined my team. You know it yourself. My request is very simple, don't hold me back." "Yes, Miss Li, please don't worry, we will never hold you back," one fat and one thin replied immediately. "Yes," Li Yunqi said to Wang Siki. "You are following me closely, and your special single-target skill calming spell has the special effect of restoring 100 points of magic power to the target, right?" "Yes, Miss Li," Wang Siki said. "Well, remember to obey my orders. The rest of you, follow closely and don't fall behind. I have no obligation to turn back and save you. If you are killed by a monster, you will be teleported back here, and your current score will be calculated as 0 points." After saying that, Li Yunqi took out the equipment from the storage halo, and a white light appeared on her body, and then the equipment was put on. It was like the transformation of the magical girl in the cartoon on TV. Lin Hao noticed that this piece of equipment was also of legendary quality at level 20, and it had set attributes, strengthening the magic of wind, water, and fire attributes, reducing CD, consumption, and restoring mana. The staff in hand is the key point. It is inlaid with force fire gems, which can maximize the range and intensity of fire magic. I heard that with this staff, even a small fireball magic can be turned into a range-based magic, big fireball. 20 minutes later, an emotionless voice of unknown gender announced, "The trial in the small secret realm has begun." Li Yunqi touched the Nephilim obelisk with her palm, and a dialogue box popped up, choosing the small secret realm trial. The entire space changed, as if being transported to a certain place, and then the 5 people appeared at the door of a brand new secret map. "This is the dreamland of the mystical wizard. Warrior, use your power to destroy all the evil in the dreamland." That emotionless voice sounded again. Li Yunqi ignored the voice and ordered, "Follow me." Then she rushed out of the door and rushed out very fast. The boots on her feet increased her movement speed a lot. Lin Hao estimated that it would only take 2 or 3 seconds to run 100 meters. Wang Siki followed closely behind. Her snakeskin shoes also increased her speed, and she could barely keep up with Li Yunqi. The fat one and the thin one also kept up, but these two guys couldn't move that fast, so they had no choice but to catch up. Lin Hao didn't want to expose his strength for the time being, but he wanted to see how Li Yunqi cleared monsters. He turned on the evil aura and only acted on himself, refusing to provide the aura effect to anyone else. Then he kept a distance and followed Wang Siki closely. Running all the way, Li Yunqi didn't think at all. Whenever he saw a shadow, he threw a burning ball at it. This fire skill shoots a burning energy ball, which will leave a burning flame on the path of travel, and when it touches it explodes when it hits the target. After the effect of Li Yunqi's equipment, level 20 monsters will be instantly killed by this skill. Even if they are not killed in the first blow, the flames generated by the subsequent explosion will continue to burn. No ordinary monster can do this. Survive the attack. Li Yunqi seemed to be very familiar with the map. She ran directly to the main road, bypassing all the twists and turns. She ran wherever there were a large number of monsters. Every action had the most direct goal. Any ordinary monsters will not stop Li Yunqi. She will only spend a little more time on those strengthened and elite monsters. The enhanced monster with blue light all over its body, although it is also level 20, is twice as powerful as ordinary monsters in terms of vitality, attack power, defense power, magic resistance, etc. It can even strengthen a certain magic resistance. That attribute the damage caused by the magic will be greatly reduced, and some will even greatly strengthen the skin, and the physical attack reduction will be extremely high. But even if the fire damage is greatly reduced, it makes no difference to Li Yunqi. Just like the group of blue enhanced monsters she just encountered, Li Yunqi just stopped for 2 seconds and used this time to chant the skill, the power of energy cyclone. The fiery little tornado rolled up several strengthened monsters and burned them to ashes in midair. Facing the powerful attack power, the damage reduction was completely insufficient, and the remaining damage after reduction was not something they could withstand. After the small tornado, Li Yunqi did not stop and continued to move forward. Lin Hao glanced at the ground swept by the tornado. The temperature of the tornado was so high that it burned the ground and tended to soften it. It was much stronger than when I saw it in the Neon District before. However, the level has increased and the equipment has been changed. It is strange that it is not stronger. There is no comparison between when I was level 1 and now. So Lin Hao didn't think much and quickly followed Li Yunqi. The small cheat trial of the Nephilim obelisk does not ask you to kill all the monsters inside, but is a racing trial. There is always a progress bar displayed above your head. The monsters you kill will increase the progress bar. When the progress bar reaches 100%, the guardian boss will appear. Killing the boss will complete the trial. Killing ordinary monsters will increase your progress very slowly, and even 10 monsters may not increase your progress by 1%. But the blue enhanced monsters are different. One can increase the monster by 1%. They usually appear in groups of 4 or 5. Killing a batch of them will increase the progress by 4 to 5%. The blue enhanced monster is not Li Yunqi's main target. There is another kind of golden elite monster that Li Yunqi jokingly calls Golden Shining, which is her main target. Golden Shining, a level 20 elite monster, is more than twice as strong as the blue enhanced monster. It is a true elite at level 20. It often has shields, fire chains, blasphemy, strong life, teleportation, freezing, molten fire, etc. The strengthening characteristics are abnormal and powerful. One such golden spark will bring 5 brothers, and killing them will increase the progress by at least 10%. Of course, progress is one thing, and most importantly, there are bonus points for killing Golden Sparkle. When Li Yunqi met the first Jin Shining, the battle was not as fierce as Lin Hao imagined. I saw Li Yunqi using the fire-based close-quarter skill, focused explosion chain reaction, gathering flame energy all over her body, and rushed directly between Jin Shining and her younger brother. Jin Shining suffered a series of explosions when attacking her, causing a lot of damage. At the same time, Li Yunqi released the flame barrier skill and released missiles condensed by flames to bombard continuously. Wang Siki used the blood increasing skill to increase Li Yunqi's blood. In just 6 seconds, the battle ended. Jin Shining and his 5 younger brothers were directly killed by countless flame missiles. Lin Hao had to shout in his heart, "Awesome, Shanghai Education Bureau, College Entrance Examination Supervision Committee, Supervision Center. Ha ha ha. The person who proposed this year's examination reform plan is simply the most talented among the talented." Li Zanchen, the head of the Shanghai College Entrance Examination Supervisory Committee Center, held a teacup and drank tea while looking at the data that was constantly refreshing on the big screen. In the past, we had to send a lot of manpower and material resources to send students to one place for exams. They simulated fighting monsters in PK, which was time-consuming and labor-intensive. Each exam had to be invigilated for 10 or 8 days, which was exhausting. Zhang Zixuan, director of the Education Bureau, said that this year is really comfortable. In previous years, the number of candidates in Shanghai alone has reached 70,000 to 80,000, and invigilating the exams is really time-consuming and laborious. This year is different. The Nephilim obelisk is used directly, and the data collector is used to collect data to directly judge the winner. No one has any objection. What? You say it's unfair? A strong person may have unsatisfactory results due to inaccurate data recording? Please, if you are really strong, in the racing trial, you will definitely pass the level faster than the weak, and much faster. And if your personal ability is not the best, but your leadership ability is particularly strong, then the cooperation of a team of 5 people will definitely highlight your ability. A team of 5 people will conduct 3 rounds of small secret realm racing trials. After completing each trial, you can rest for 1 hour to recover. If you don't do well in the test, no matter what excuse you have, the UED government will only consider it as the cry of the weak bird. They won't bother you. He Zhengxin, a special supervisory committee member of the central government, said, "It's comfortable, but it's hard to say who will win the top prize this year." Li Zanshan said, "No need to ask, she must be the eldest lady of my family. If you don't believe me, just wait until the first trial is over and the data is sent back to see the results." Zhang Zixuan looked at the time and said, "Each racing trial is completed in 15 minutes to pass. If it takes more than 15 minutes to pass the level, you basically don't need to look at it. There are still 30 seconds until 15 minutes, and the data has begun to be transmitted. Let's just see the results." He Zhengxin said, "Then show the teams and data completed within 10 minutes. Li Zanshan said, "There is no need to go to so much trouble. Just let the AI do the statistics and display the top 100 teams in the first round of Magic City." The staff below received the instruction and immediately operated to display the top 100 teams in the first round. First place, James Magis, time 3 minutes and 37 seconds. Second place, Zhang Wufei, time 3 minutes and 38 seconds. Third place, Li Yunqi, time 3 minutes and 39 seconds. Fourth place, He Chaning, time 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Fifth place, Letty Ann, time 3 minutes and 42 seconds. Sixth place, Dorothy, time 4 minutes and 21 seconds. From the back to the 100th place, the time is 6 minutes and 47 seconds. Starting from 6th place, it no longer attracts the attention of the 3 executives present, because with this result there is no possibility of competing for the top pick. The first place is actually the eldest son of the Magis family. While speaking, Li Zanshan made subtle gestures and asked his subordinates to send messages to the eldest lady through special channels, telling her the results of the first round. Zhang Zixuan said, "It seems that my Wufei is better than your eldest daughter for just 1 or 2 seconds, so I'll give in." While talking, Zhang Zixuan also asked his subordinates to send the results and inform his disciples. He Zhengxin said, "It's just the first round, we don't know who will win in the end." The 3 of them were arranging their subordinates to secretly send messages. Everyone knew about it, but they didn't tell them. Nephilim Obelisk Special Space. All candidate teams are resting and recovering in their own independent spaces. Li Yunqi passed the first round, but was not very satisfied with the time. When she finally fought the boss, she misjudged the location where the boss would appear, and wasted several seconds when rushing over. She kept reviewing the entire battle just now, and there was no problem. No matter whether she was rushing or killing the Smurfs and Jin Shining, there were no unnecessary actions. She only made mistakes in defeating and defending the boss. Soon, she received a message from someone outside. Sure enough, her first round result was only ranked 3rd. Jigus, who was first, was only 2 seconds faster than himself. If he had not made a mistake just now, he could have made up for these 2 seconds. Well, we have to be more careful in the next round and not make any mistakes. The final score is calculated based on the average of the total time of the 3 rounds of trials. In the second round, you must be 5 seconds faster than the first round to make up for your mistakes in the first round. Li Yunqi took out the medicine to replenish physical strength from the storage halo, quickly replenished her physical strength, and then took out a pill and held it in her hand. This is the Sifong Strong Heart Pill, jointly developed by the Sifong Group and the Demon City Demon Dan Academy. The quantity is extremely limited. The effect is to temporarily increase the user's intelligence by 120 points, and the effect lasts for 1,800 seconds. This thing cannot be taken continuously. There should be an interval of 1 hour between each taking. The effects of repeated takings will not be superimposed. The Sifong Group is a company wholly owned by the Li family. The Li family specially researched the Sifong Liaxin pill with professors from the Demon Dan Academy. It can be said that only their family has this stuff. He held the medicine in his mouth but did not take it. There was a layer of coating on the outside of the medicine that needed to be bitten open to be effective, so he did not bite it open until he encountered the first monster after entering. Okay, I have fully recovered. I will start the second round of the secret trial immediately. After Li Yunqi made all preparations, she stood up and said to the other 4 people. Miss, can you rest for a while? I'm so tired. One was fat and the other was thin, and lay paralyzed on the ground. He felt a little reluctant to move. He drank 3 bottles of energy drinks but had no effect at all. Then you just stay here. One less test will make no difference to you. Li Yunqi doesn't care about these 2 losers. People like her who want to hit the number 1 pick are always 1 to 4, and they have all the data such as output, damage per second, etc., and the final comprehensive score is very high. One is fat, one is thin, and the other is missing 1 round of exams. That's not going to work. Get up immediately. Li Yunqi looked at Wang Siki. She was okay and her breath was relatively stable. Looking at Lin Hao, Li Yunqi frowned. Why does this guy seem to have nothing wrong? Or is it really a superpower with better physical strength? Do not care. Set off. Li Yunqi ended her break 20 minutes early and started the second round of assessment. As soon as she entered, Li Yunqi gritted her teeth and exploded at full speed. Although the map had been changed, she was still familiar with it. She had done countless AI simulation trainings at home in the past 2 months, and combined all the AI simulations that had appeared in the Nephilim obelisk so far. I have refreshed the small secret map countless times. This time Li Yunqi didn't wait for Wang Siki, because Wang Siki's role was only useful in the final battle with the boss, and was not used at all the rest of the time. Li Yunqi's equipment, Jin Shining, which was not a specialized attack, could not break through the defense. Now it became extremely difficult for Wang Siki to keep up with Li Yunqi's pace. He became fatter and thinner and stopped working. He hid in a corner and pretended to be dead. Lin Hao took his time and followed Li Yunqi, watching her spawn monsters from a distance. The Smurfs are knocked down by monsters, and the golden sparkle stays for 4 seconds. Ordinary monsters can just throw a skill at them when they hear the sound, and the people just leave without even looking at them. Lin Hao somewhat admired Li Yunqi. In his impression, the rich ladies were pampered and seriously ill princesses. With Li Yunqi's drive, I have to say that if someone who is richer than you works harder than you, how can you compare? Time passed by minute, and at 3 minutes and 01 seconds, the gatekeeper boss appeared. Li Yunqi made no misjudgment this time and waited precisely at the location where the guarding boss appeared. As soon as the boss appeared, Li Yunqi immediately used a combination of skills, the water skill Frost Ray in her left hand, and shot an extremely cold ray to cause damage to the boss. The boss's movement speed and attack speed all dropped significantly. At the same time, the right hand holding the staff uses fire skills to disintegrate the heat energy of the rays. The pure fire energy rays penetrate the boss's body, causing fatal damage to the boss. Both skills are continuous casting skills, and they can be released as long as Li Yunqi's magic power is not exhausted. Wang Siki, who barely caught up, used a calming spell on Li Yunqi, which restored blood and magic at the same time, making Li Yunqi more durable. Lin Hao shouted that if you know how to play, you can do this, you have learned it. Shanghai Education Bureau, College Entrance Examination Supervision Committee, Supervision Center. The second round should start soon, right? There are still 10 minutes left. How about 2 games of landlords? The results of the second round will not be updated until 15 minutes at the earliest. Li Zanshan, Zhang Zixuan, and He Zhengxin are now terribly bored. When I used to invigilate exams, there were so many things to do and I was so busy that I couldn't stop for 10 days. Now that the examination method has been reformed, there is nothing to do except look at the data. Candidates are safe and do not have to worry about getting hurt. My lord, the data has been refreshed. Someone reported in the control center below. The 3 of them looked over. The second round hadn't started yet. Why was the data refreshed? Did someone end the break early and start the assessment? 3 minutes and 12 seconds, it's 3 minutes and 12 seconds. The team of the eldest lady of the Li family, Li Yunqi, has set a new record. This is the latest record for the level 20 Nephilim small secret realm. It is a full 15 seconds faster than the previous record. When Li Zanshan heard this, He immediately jumped up and laughed. Ha ha ha, my eldest lady is still the best. I just let you in the first round. Zhang Zixuan said, as expected, the eldest lady of the Li family is very powerful. My family Wu Fei is under a lot of pressure this time. He Zhengxin said, the Li family is indeed very wealthy. It seems that my He family will not be able to win the top prize this year. Li Shan said with a smile, Chengzhengzheng, who will inform the master and the old lady of the news, saying that the eldest lady has broken the historical record of the 20th level Nephilim small secret realm. It's my lord. A subordinate of the Li family immediately spread the news back to the family. At the same time, people from other families also secretly sent this information to their young masters and ladies who were taking the college entrance examination. The most powerful number 1 picks, such as Jigu Si, Zhang Wufei, He Chaining, and Lidian, all clenched their fists when they saw Li Yunqi's results. Are you going to work so hard and say you didn't cheat? Who will believe you? Moreover, are you the only one who brought in equipment or elixirs that exceeded the standard? Who doesn't have some secrets? Jigus took out a scroll from the storage halo, which was engraved with golden runes, the rune of the Berserker. Maiden, you will be on the first day of junior high school and I will be on the 15th. Zhang Wufei also took a red tassel gun toy from the storage halo. This is a level 90 weapon that uses force technology to project an energy body. It can be used at any level, but it can only be used twice, and then the energy dissipates. He Chaining took out a lotus fruit. After eating this fruit, he can temporarily increase his agility by 120 points, and his movement speed and attack speed will be greatly increased. However, his body will be weak for a period of time because it cannot bear the excessive speed. I wanted to eat it, but someone from my family sent a message saying that I would give up the fight for the top prize. After thinking about it, I decided to put it away. A good son of aristocratic family is to follow the arrangements. Lydie Ann simply gave up the fight for the top spot. Her original goal was to be the strategic planning and commanding officer of the Liberal Arts Institute, and her family wanted to promote her to become a senior strategic commander. In this way, Li Yunqi's results in the second round directly caused the two competitors to give up. Nephilim Obelisk Special Space Li Yunqi is now slightly weak, which can be eliminated in just 10 minutes and is not a big problem. Looking at her record-breaking results, Li Yunqi had a smile on her face. As long as she didn't make any mistakes in the third round, she would be the number 1 pick. Wang Siki was so tired that his face was covered with sweat, but he still smiled happily when he saw the record-breaking results. Although she is here to mix points, the better Ms. Li's grades are, the better her grades will be. According to the current pace, it seems that there are no problems in first-class universities. One was fat and the other was thin, and they were paralyzed by exhaustion. They had no energy to think about any problems at all. They leaned against the obelisk and gasped loudly. The total amount of exercise they had done since birth was not as high as in these two trials. Fatty felt like he had lost 10 pounds in sweat alone and was about to collapse. The thin man felt that his legs were no longer his and he couldn't feel them anymore. Lin Hao sat aside, with just a little sweat hanging on his forehead and his back not wet yet. In these two trials, Lin Hao also learned a lot. It turns out that there is such an operation for placing a skill in one hand. In the past, he had to only place one skill at a time. He put the skill in his left hand and his right hand was idle, completely useless. I thought about adding another skill at the same time. Also, the Nephilim secret realm is also a magical place. After starting the trial, Lin Hao thought that the monsters were just simulated by AI. But when Li Yunqi killed the monsters, the corpses of the fallen monsters could actually feel the essence of the corpses. Exists, and it is confirmed that it can be used to trigger the evil explosion skill. In other words, the monster is real and the corpse is real. However, once the guarding boss is killed, the corpses of all monsters will disappear quickly, and then the boss will drop a light group, which is invisible to everyone except Lin Hao himself. Lin Hao picked up 2 light groups and stuffed them into the storage halo, planning to go home and study them slowly after the college entrance examination. The second round of trials has not officially started yet, and Lin Hao has already entered a state of rest. With at least 1 hour and 15 minutes of rest, Li Yunqi felt that it was enough for her to recover. The fat man and the thin man both felt saved. After sitting for 5 minutes, the thin man wanted to stand up, but his legs were paralyzed due to the sitting posture. This is a good thing, at least I can feel my legs. Don't press me, you are so heavy. The thin guy put his hands on fat guy's shoulders, trying to use the strength to stand up, but the exhausted fat guy couldn't bear it anymore and pushed him away with a slap. This push directly caused the thin man to lose his balance. In panic, He grabbed randomly, trying to grab something to steady himself and not fall down. The grasp didn't matter. He directly grabbed a protruding rune on the Nephilim obelisk and activated the Nephilim obelisk. Please choose a secret realm. The voice of the Nephilim obelisk came out, and Li Yunqi, Wang Siki, and Lin Hao all turned their heads and looked over. The thin man didn't pay attention at all. After standing firm, he patted his chest and said, "Fate is great." Received the instruction, selected the Great Secret Realm, detected that the current levels in the room are all level 20, and opened the level 20 Great Secret Realm. As soon as he finished speaking, Li Yunqi cursed angrily. "What did you do? Why did you activate the Nephilim obelisk to open the Great Secret Realm?" The thin guy didn't know what was going on, and looked at Li Yunqi in confusion as he stood up, pointed at him and cursed. Before anyone could react, the whole scene changed and all 5 people entered the Nephilim Great Secret Realm. Welcome to the dreamland of Nephilim. This is the bridge of Korsk. Warriors, pick up your weapons and stop the siege beasts. Behind you is the Bastion Fortress. After the sound of the Nephilim obelisk ended, everyone calmed down and looked at the surrounding situation. There was a huge bridge with no side visible at a glance. Lin Hao and the other 5 were inside the bridgehead. There was a huge monster on the horizon, driving countless monsters across the bridge like crazy and rushing towards the bridgehead. On the bridgehead, human soldiers were organizing resistance, but the situation was not optimistic. "You two have done a good job. Why did you open the Great Secret Realm? We have no chance of clearing the level. It was a waste of a trial and assessment. Our third time score will be 0 points. I tell you too, after we go out, I will definitely use the power of the Li family to kill you and your whole family without any body parts." Li Yunqi cursed loudly. She was so excited that she completely ignored her image. The fat one and the thin one were so frightened by the endless black monster outside the bridgehead that they hugged each other tightly and did not dare to move. Li Yunqi wanted to continue scolding, but suddenly Wang Siki shouted, "Miss Li, be careful." The giant beast in the sky smashed a railing on the bridge, lifted the broken boulder, and threw it towards the bridgehead. Wang Siki rushed forward, hugged Li Yunqi from behind and ran away together. Bang! There was a loud noise, and half of the bridgehead was destroyed by boulders. One fat and one thin fell down and fainted. Although Li Yunqi and Wang Siki escaped being hit directly, they were also injured by the aftermath and fainted after hitting the wall. The monster siege has officially begun. Lin Hao, who saw a huge boulder about to fall early, activated Steel Skin, hid behind a wall, and successfully escaped being knocked unconscious or killed. However, now he is the only one left standing in the entire team. Li Yunqi was still weak and was knocked unconscious by the aftermath of the impact. She probably wouldn't be able to wake up for a while. According to what Li Yunqi just said, this counts as the third assessment. If you fail to pass the test, you will get 0 points from accounting. UED won't care about your reasons or accidents. Anyway, if you don't clear the level, you will get 0 points. Who told you to choose the small secret realm in accordance with the exam regulations? What? Can the Li family change the rules? Come on, the Li family can't cover the sky with one hand. There are other families of the same level, such as the Majas family, the Zhang family, the He family, the Yin family, etc. Others are eager for you to make a mistake and let the top pick come out. Looking at the monster army that was about to rush to the bridgehead, Lin Hao suddenly had an idea. Now all the team members have fainted. It's just the time for me to show off my skills. I want to test what my current upper limit is, and I also want to know how much more powerful the power of death is than the 3 sulfur monosulfide level turret magic gods. But if you take action yourself, the data collector will collect your own output, damage per second, etc., which will expose many problems. Don't think that others will treat you like a peerless genius or a god. Those aristocratic families will only find ways to lock you up and then torture you on how you became so powerful in just 2 months. Lin Hao walked towards Li Yunqi, took off the data collector from her chest, and exchanged it with his own. Bringing Li Yunqi's data collector, all the damage she dealt was calculated on her head. Even if others asked, it would mean that there was a perverted strongman in the Li family, and it had nothing to do with a dead knight like herself. As long as Li Yunqi wins the top prize, she will calculate 10% of her score by herself, and at least 100 points will be added to the liberal arts section. Don't underestimate Li Yunqi's 10% score. Based on last year's #1 pick score, she would have gotten at least a few thousand points, and even 10% would have made her into the top 500 in the market. Do not believe, last year, the 500th place player in Magic City had a score of 600 points, and last year the number 1 pick in the league had a score of 7,900 points. The gap is very polarizing. After taking Li Yunqi's data collector with him, Lin Hao walked to the gate of the bridgehead. "Warrior, thank you for not abandoning us," the soldiers on the bridgehead said to Lin Hao. Lin Hao just smiled back. The first monster ran very fast. It had already thrown away the large army, rushed onto the bridgehead, and directly bit Lin Hao, who was standing at the front entrance of the bridgehead. Lin Hao raised his shield and struck hard with the shield. At the same time, he used steel skin and swung out the flame slash. The monster that looked like a dog and a leopard was hit by the shield slam and the flaming slash at the same time. The body exploded directly, and the body was torn into pieces, leaving no intact body. "Ah, this sword is really dead without a whole body. The essence is also scattered, and it is difficult to gather it together. I originally thought I was just here to mix things up, so it didn't matter. Now I know that I really shouldn't use this sword and should go to the trading center to buy another one." However, there was no time to think, as the follow-up monster army had already rushed forward. Lin Hao and the human soldiers stood on the slope at the door, taking advantage of the terrain to continuously attack the monsters. Fire slash, shield slam. Lin Hao kept using these two skills. Even if he couldn't kill the monster instantly, he still had to push the monster down. But there are too many monsters. Manpower must be increased. Order the skeletons. With an order, a skeleton was drilled out of the ground next to Lin Hao. In the following time, a skeleton would be drilled out every 2 seconds until there were 17 skeletons. The skeletons were very brave and completely fearless. They not only leaned on the slope of the bridgehead to kill monsters, but even jumped down to fight for their lives. A jumping skeleton can only be stabbed or slashed with a knife, and will be torn apart by the monster army immediately. The skeleton was smashed and killed, and another one would emerge after another 2 seconds. As long as Lin Hao was still standing, these skeletons could not be killed. However, the number of monsters is simply endless. Until the giant beast on the horizon, the middle is full of monsters. The giant beast is walking towards the bridgehead step by step. The sense of oppression is not ordinary. Skin of steel plus shield slam plus flame slash plus command bones, Lin Hao held on to the middle position, and no monster could climb up and gain a firm foothold. But the NPC warriors around him were not so powerful. As a young NPC was bitten by a centipede-like monster and dragged down, a gap appeared in that position. The monster began to break through from here, and the entire defense line slowly be disintegrated. Those experienced veterans shrank towards Lin Hao's position, forming a fan-shaped tactical formation, with their backs against the wall, killing as many monsters as possible. However, the monsters don't give you a chance at all. Blue enhanced monsters begin to appear. A large number of enhanced monsters have come to the bottom of the slope and climbed up directly by stepping on the bodies of other monsters. The veterans of the human race couldn't resist the enhanced monsters at all. Lin Hao decisively gave up on these NPCs, summoned the evil war horse to quickly escape from the location, waved the sword in his hand and used the flames to clear the way, and rushed out. The enhanced monster instantly devoured and tore apart the last veterans, leaving only Lin Hao and his skeletons on the battlefield. But the skeletons couldn't withstand the strengthened monsters and were easily crushed. Lin Hao rode the evil spirit horse and rushed down the slope, making the enhanced monsters lose Lin Hao's vision. After going down the slope, Lin Hao ordered the skeletons to follow him and kill the enemies. Along the way, he rushed wherever the monsters were weak. Kill monsters without stopping. The corpses of the monsters killed by the sword cannot be left behind, but the corpses of the monsters killed by the shield, or the reflection effects of the iron hard armor, and the monsters killed by the skeletons can be preserved. The enhanced monster chased Lin Hao and wanted to kill Lin Hao, but unfortunately the evil horse was too fast, and even the enhanced monster with enhanced movement speed could not catch up. Lin Hao kept circling the battlefield, letting the enhanced monsters slowly come to a pile. Looking at the right time, the enhanced monsters were already very concentrated in a certain area, and Lin Hao used the skill, Age, at that location. All abilities, attributes, and physical functions of all enhanced monsters are reduced by 30%. Sword of Heavenly Punishment. Lin Hao jumped up from the back of the evil spirit horse, and with one move, the Sword of Heaven's Punishment fell from the sky and hit the middle of the pile of enhanced monsters. All the enhanced monsters were directly knocked out of most of their health by this move. The enhanced monsters wanted to rush forward and tear Lin Hao to pieces, but aging reduced their movement speed by 75%. Before they could rush forward, Lin Hao ordered the skeleton to hit him immediately. The 17 skeletons desperately attacked these enhanced monsters and killed more than 10 enhanced monsters in an instant. The remaining enhanced monsters ignored the skeleton and continued to rush towards Lin Hao. Manipulate the dead, stand up, my warriors, and tear apart all the enemies in front of you. After the skill was activated, the corpses of the 12 enhanced monsters stood up again. Without wasting half a second, they directly attacked the still alive enhanced monsters around them. Those enhanced monsters never thought that corpses would be resurrected and attack them. They were completely defenseless and were instantly killed by 12 enhanced monster corpses. They were either gutted or had their heads ripped off. With these 12 resurrected corpses and 17 skeletons, Lin Hao will launch a counterattack in the next 80 seconds. With 29 undead units, Lin Hao once again mounted the evil spirit horse, wielding the flame slash, and rushed into the pile of monsters together. What are you most afraid of on the battlefield? Invincible, unselectable, and possessing attack power capable of killing enemies. With such a force, no matter how small the number is or how large the enemy army is, it will be a one-sided massacre. Lin Hao took 12 invincible enhanced monster corpses and frantically killed ordinary monsters along the way. There are also 17 inexhaustible skeletons, which are also constantly harvesting the lives of ordinary monsters. Wherever the evil warhorse is trampled, countless monster corpses were left behind. Why not use evil explosion? Lin Hao was waiting, not for the huge beast, but for Jin Shining and his brothers. When the number of these guys reaches a certain level, they will be more vicious and difficult to defeat than the gatekeeper boss. Jin Shining may have known that the 12 enhanced monster corpses following Lin Hao were invincible, so he never showed up. Until 80 seconds later, when the 12 corpses returned to the dark void and disappeared without a trace, a large group of golden glitters and their younger brothers made a grand appearance. These guys were extremely domineering. They came from behind and killed any monsters on their side that blocked their way. Then they drove straight towards Lin Hao. When Lin Hao saw Jin Shining rushing over, he didn't stupidly fight. The special effects attributes of these guys were extremely disgusting. Strike a blow in front of them, kill a group of mobs, then turn around and run back directly with the skeletons, continuing to kill ordinary monsters along the way. Ordinary monsters are almost unable to fight against Lin Hao. The impact of the evil war horse can knock off part of the health, and the flame slash can cut off most of the health with one blow. The remaining small part can be left by the skeletons, one at a time. Get off the body. Lin Hao moved all the way to kill, leading the Jin Shinings to the middle of the main battlefield, where there were a large number of ordinary monster corpses that had been killed by the previous 12 enhanced monster corpses. When Jin Shanshan and his younger brothers stepped on those corpses, Lin Hao immediately turned around and applied aging to them. All abilities, attributes, and skills have been reduced by 30%. But even if aging is applied, the attributes of the Golden Shinings are already very high. If everything is reduced by 30%, they can still pose a fatal threat to Lin Hao. A Golden Shining with plague characteristics spat out 4 dark green liquid balls from its mouth. When it hit the ground, it formed a huge Tien character, framing Lin Hao in the middle. The highly toxic dark green liquid instantly touched the ground. The monsters and corpses that arrive are corroded. A golden flash with freezing characteristics summoned 6 ice balls and flew towards Lin Hao. Each ice ball exploded after 4 seconds. The skeletons were frozen immediately after being hit and shattered on the spot with just a light touch. A golden flash with the characteristics of a fire chain connected the younger brothers with the fire chain, and then rushed towards Lin Hao. Anything it encountered on the way would be directly cut and melted by the fire chain. There are countless other golden glitters with other characteristics, such as blasphemy, conductivity, lightning storm, thunder, lightning sentry, strong arcane, etc., all of which release special skills to greet Lin Hao. Lin Hao was forced to the point where he almost had no place to stand. But there is also an advantage to this. While attacking Lin Hao, these golden flashes also accidentally injured countless ordinary monsters that came over, causing mountains of corpses to pile up. Evil explosion. Lin Hao grabbed Jin Shining out of thin air, and the strange cyan essence was extracted from the monster corpse at Jin Shining's feet. It condensed instantly and exploded under the feet of Jin Shining and their younger brother. Bang bang bang, with 5 explosions in the first round, 1/3 of the Golden Shining's health was suddenly lost. Continue, evil explosion. In the second round, there were no longer only 5 corpses of spirits, but a large number of nearby spirits controlled by Lin Hao. It can only explode 5 spirits at a time, but it can control the spirits and be on standby. This is a technique that Lin Hao just discovered. Bang 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 bang. The spirits kept being controlled by Lin Hao and rushed towards Jin Shining and their younger brothers to explode. The corpses of the spirit monsters could not be seen, so they wanted to defend themselves but didn't know how to defend themselves. In their eyes, this was exploding out of thin air for no reason, making friends out of nothing. The explosions continued, causing Jin Shining's health to bottom out instantly, and soon they fell one by one not far in front of Lin Hao. When all the Jin Shinings were blown up, their special skill effects also disappeared. The plague barriers that surrounded Lin Hao and blocked ordinary monsters opened, and ordinary monsters rushed in like crazy. There were not even 10,000 in this number. There were also 8,000, rushing over in dense masses. This was the last monster. Lin Hao didn't hesitate and used evil explosion directly, starting from 5 directions and causing a series of explosions. All the Jin Shinings have fallen. Now it is time to quickly eliminate all the monsters and then wait until the sky-climbing beast arrives. The HP and defense of ordinary monsters cannot be compared with that of Golden Sparkle. Every explosion directly kills a large number of monsters. Then the corpse of the dead monster was extracted again and continued to explode. Cycle after cycle, this is how the power of death kills, and numbers become meaningless in front of this. It took a full 30 seconds to blow up all the besieging monsters, leaving countless piles of corpses on small hills. Finally all the monsters have been solved. If there is no power of death and the level is limited to level 20 in this difficult trial, what kind of team is required to pass it? Lin Hao was sitting on a pile of monster corpses to rest, and suddenly thought of this question. There were tens of thousands of ordinary monsters, as well as a large number of blue enhanced monsters, and dozens of golden shining monsters appearing at the same time. Lin Hao couldn't figure out how to pass the level. Or group 5 people with SSR abilities, and then wear the level 20 legendary suit that suits you best. Only then can you kill all these tens of thousands of monsters. Moreover, even if all these little monsters are killed, how are they going to fight the tall beast behind them? I don't know. Lin Hao is too lazy to think about it, and he has no time to think about it. The tall beast was already in front of him. Roar. With a roar, the siege assault beast appeared. Lin Hao saw this legendary monster up close and personal for the first time. Command the skeletons, come on, skeletons, chop it down. Lin Hao wanted to see how far this guy could go in terms of attack, health, and defense. The 17 skeletons rushed forward desperately, jumping up, slashing, stabbing and smashing into the knees of the siege assault beast. They did not cause any damage at all and could not even break the skin. The siege assault beast shook its front legs and body, shaking all the skeletons to the ground. Then it waved its huge arm with huge iron claws, a pure physical attack, and its huge unparalleled power, directly knocking all the skeletons to the ground, turned into powder. Lin Hao swallowed his saliva. This monster really deserves the name of the siege assault beast. Its huge body and powerful power are enough to reverse the situation of any battle. It is simply the most chilling nightmare in the darkness. Roar. The siege assault beast opened its arms and roared, shaking its body, and then launched a charge towards Lin Hao. Lin Hao immediately summoned the evil spirit horse to go around behind the siege assault beast. This giant beast doesn't have to hit you at all. It can crush you to death with its huge body. Manipulate the dead. Lin Hao resurrected 12 golden shining bodies, and their younger brothers were also resurrected together. That is, there were 72 resurrected invincible corpses. Destroy the siege beasts, 72 corpses throwing away skills like crazy. The siege assault beast waved its arms, causing huge damage to the surrounding environment. The strong wind and dust caused by the swing alone were able to deflect all Jin Shining's skills. There was no skill that could get closer. Body. Lin Hao deeply felt what it means to conquer 10 things with one force. If the power is strong enough, your skills, magic, spells, etc. are all good, but you can't touch it anyway. Only evil explosion can deal with it. I don't want to win against such a rogue, but now I have no other means to hurt this monster except evil explosion. The corpses all over the mountains and plains had their souls drawn out, and they all converged on the siege assault beasts. Woo! The alarm in the monitoring center kept sounding, and the warning red light kept flashing. What's going on? Li Zanshin asked his subordinates. Reporting to Mr. Li, the monitoring center detected that someone opened the Nephilim Great Secret Realm and challenged it. The staff member replied. Hasn't the Temple Management Office issued an announcement that no one is allowed to use the Nephilim obelisk today? Who is so bold to start the Great Secret Realm challenge at this time? Even if you want to get on the ladder list, there is no need to rush. Zhang Zixuan said. He Zhengxin said, could it be that the challenge was started by others, or maybe it was accidentally started by students taking the martial arts exam? Li Zanchen said, I have been told many times that the captain must open it, and then you must choose the small secret realm. If you choose the big secret realm by mistake and cannot pass it, it will still be counted as an assessment and will be treated as 0 points. In this way, you can still open the big secret book. Then you deserve it. The other two people agreed that if they turned it on despite repeated warnings, they deserved the 0 points they got. Turn off the alarm, it's too noisy, Li Zanchen ordered. The staff at the console immediately turned off the alarm. This alarm was set to warn anyone. If anyone starts the Great Secret Realm Challenge today, they must be found out. As long as they are not students who are graduating from the college entrance examination, they will be severely punished. The staff followed the procedure and made a report on the alarm just now. 10 minutes later, when the staff was preparing to report, someone suddenly shouted, there is data coming back. The Great Secret Realm just was opened by the college entrance examination students and has been cleared. What? Li Zanchen, Zhang Zixuan, and He Zhengxin stood up on the spot. How is it possible? How can a college entrance examination student who has not yet advanced to the next level pass the test? Li Zanchen said this, and the other two people also agreed. You must advance to level 20, and at the same time, your skills must be trained to level 10, and then all the skills must be advanced. Only by teaming up with 5 people and working together without making mistakes can you pass the level. Sir, I have really cleared the level. The data sent back shows that it is Miss Li Yunqi's team and the time to clear the level is 7 minutes and 59 seconds. The staff will check the data and confirm that it is correct before reporting it. Is the eldest lady so strong? How can she pass the level 20 secret realm by dragging 4 by 1? Even Li Zanchen found it incredible. Zhang Zixuan and He Zhengxin also found it incredible that Li Yunqi was very strong. There was no fort mage stronger than her in this session, and they also admitted this. However, to say that she has the ability to clear the 20-level secret realm in 1 drag and 4, the two of them would not believe it even to death. The console pulled up the data, and Li Yunqi's data exploded. Healing accounted for 100%, damage sustained accounted for 99.99999%, the maximum damage per second exceeded 8 million per second, and the total output was calculated in units of 100 million. This frightened all 3 of them. It feels so unreal to me. This kind of data will make it impossible for any previous number 1 pick to achieve before reaching level 20. Not to mention producing this kind of data, whether you can survive in the Great Secret Realm is a question. The current situation is that not only did she survive, but she also cleared the level within 8 minutes. 1 drag 4. This is considered a single pass. The 3 of them didn't know what to say anymore, it was really too fantasy. If all this is true, Li Yunqi will be the strongest genius in history, with abilities far exceeding anyone in the past. Go to Magic City #1 Middle School. Don't worry about other people's affairs. No matter how good your grades are, you can't surpass the eldest lady. Quickly inform the family to send someone to protect the eldest lady. Li Zanchen reacted. The staff had repeatedly checked the data and found no problems. Now they need to get the data collector in Li Yunqi's hand for proofreading. If all this is true, then the eldest lady is now in the most dangerous situation. No matter how he cleared the level 20 secret realm, Li Yunqi must have been exhausted by now. Maybe all the props used to save his life have been exhausted in the process of clearing the level. If someone wants to harm Li Yunqi, an ordinary person can kill her with a fruit knife. Li Zanchen left the supervision center behind, ran out, and personally took people on a helicopter to the #1 middle school in Magic City. Li Yunqi was teleported out by the Nephilim obelisk and would return to the place where she logged in, which was the auditorium of #1 middle school in the Demon City. Zhang Zixuan and He Zhengxin looked at each other, immediately informed their families about the matter, and then immediately left for #1 middle school in the Magic City. Magic City #1 middle school, auditorium. The principal, directors, and head teachers were all waiting in place. After the 3 rounds of assessments, the students will be expelled from the strange space by the Nephilim obelisk and returned to the school's auditorium. Everyone thought that there was still more than an hour until the end, and they were all chatting with each other, speculating whether someone from our #1 middle school in the Magic City would be the top pick this year. At this moment, the teleportation gate suddenly opened, and then all 5 members of Li Yunqi's team were sent out by the Nephilim obelisk. The 5 people who landed on the ground were all in a coma, and everyone looked in a miserable state, especially Li Yunqi, who was covered in blood of all colors, and all their equipment was in tatters. Only the weapon in his hand was intact, but the gem on the weapon had been cracked, and he himself seemed to be seriously injured. The teachers were shocked and immediately stepped forward to provide first aid. Lee Yunqi's head teacher immediately checked the life status of his student. "Take your hands off, Missy." An old voice came from nowhere, and the echo was huge. More than a dozen strong men holding shields broke open the doors of the auditorium and rushed in. These were the Lee family's shield guards, all of whom were tank warriors around level 60. They immediately came to Lee Yunqi's side and set up a battle formation. Lee Yunqi stood in the middle, separating her from the others. Immediately afterwards, the roof of the auditorium was lifted by the strong wind, and 4 old men who looked like Gandalf and dressed like Dumbledore fell from the sky. These are the 4 great masters of feng shui and fire in the Lee family. All 4 are level 80 masters. The 2 old men who were leveled by Lee Yunqi before are one of them. Irrelevant people should stay away from the eldest lady. An energy cyclone came from top to bottom, sending everyone except Lee Yunqi and the shield guard away more than 10 meters. Lin Hao, who was pretending to faint, was also blown away. He rolled around 7 or 8 times. He was not injured at first, but now he was directly injured internally and almost vomited blood. "Damn, do you want to be so domineering? The life of your eldest daughter, the Lee family, is life, but the lives of others are not? Believe it or not, I will tie up you old immortals and roll them around in circles in the future." Lin Hao cursed in his heart, but his body did not dare to move. Originally he just wanted to pretend to be fainted for a while and let Lao Bancha wake him up, but now he may have to go to the hospital and lie down for a few days. The internal injuries caused by the old man could not even be cured by the special blood regeneration effect of the shoe straps. Lin Hao thought to himself, could it be because the level was too high? I'll think about it later. It seems like a lot of people are coming. Outside, a large number of experts arrived, all of them from major families. Upon seeing this, the principal of Mudu No. 1 Middle School immediately asked all the teachers to evacuate the students who were still in class, and also took Lin Hao, Wang Siki, one fat and one thin out of the auditorium. As for Lee Yunqi, it is no longer something that Magic City No. 1 Middle School can intervene in. When some people arrived, they found the 4 great Dharma kings there, with expressions of pity on their faces, hating themselves for being a step too late. Some people arrived with a smile on their face and said congratulations, but in their hearts they were thinking about whether there would be a chance to make a move. Some people said they wanted to help check the injuries, with a look of compassion, and they actually had poison ready. The opportunity to do harm is fleeting, and UED government agents may be arriving soon. From the perspective of the UED government, geniuses must be protected. Every genius is a weapon in the hands of the UED government and a war machine. The aristocratic family is different, they are not one of their own, they are a threat after all. If everyone is similar, there will naturally be no disagreements. But you, Lee Yunqi, are too outstanding this time. You are at least 4, 5 or 6 levels ahead of your peers. The younger generation of all other aristocratic families will be suppressed by you and cannot hold their heads up. This kind of thing will never be allowed. If you get the chance, kill it if you can.